Aaron Glenn is safe. Wait a second. We're being told John Harbaugh was fired by the Baltimore Ravens. Should there be an audible at the line of scrimmage? We debate, we talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. As you're heading on into the room, appreciate it. Like the video, hit subscribe here on YouTube as we continue to make our climb up to 10,000 subscribers. Folks, the offseason is a wild place. I thought I knew what I was talking about on the show today as I'm sort of planning out topics for the week. And then, booyah, the Baltimore Ravens fired John Harbaugh last night. And I'm like, oh, boy. I told you guys this, that in my opinion, Aaron Glenn should be safe. And by all accounts, he was safe. And I said, there has not been a name mentioned by the fan base that says that I haven't had a fan come up to me and said, Paul, we need to fire Aaron Glenn. And then my response has been, well, for who? And then they've given me names, and I'm like, no, not that. No. And then I've shared it here that there's not been a name that someone has brought to me where I'm like, whoa, well, I might fire Aaron Glenn for that guy. And my whatever, my ethics or morals or whatever were pushed with John Harbaugh hitting the free agent streets last night. So, folks, if you're coming in on YouTube, again, on top of liking the video and hitting subscribe, get involved. We have a poll up on YouTube, and it is the theme of this very show. I don't often ask questions. I normally come with definitive takes. But the question is, should the New York Jets immediately fire Aaron Glenn to hire now ex-Ravens head coach, going to have to get used to that one, John Harbaugh? Vote in the poll. Let us know. We'll check in on the poll throughout today's program. So feel free to engage and interact, and we'll see what the people say. Because I think there are good things to talk about and bad things to talk about. And we'll get to all of that here on the program. But first, I see that we have some memberships being gifted. If you guys would like to read more about this, there have been some big prominent names that have been on the fire Aaron Glenn, hire Harbaugh bandwagon. That's in our article down in the YouTube description down below. But look at this, a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, baby. Let's get some Kevin James action. Every time we get 5 memberships or more, we play a video.
Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Absolutely, baby. That is 10 raffle tickets for our number 1 Austrian Jet fan this month, which now puts him in a tie with Nate the Great at the top of our leaderboard. So shout out to our number 1 Austrian Jet fan. Let's read these 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club here on the program. Here they are. Those 5 are as follows. They are Nautica Hears, Brian Rapp, Ernesto Rivera, Don't Tan, all right, and Golden Arm. You guys are all now members of Boy Green Coffee Club. Thank you, number 1 Austrian Jet fan. We have a lot of raffle tickets and prizes. We'll get into that later. But Austrian, thank you very much. So let me walk you through the Harbaugh thing, okay, from my perspective, okay? Is Harbaugh interesting? Of course. He's a Super Bowl champion. He has a 600 winning percentage. In his 18 seasons, 13 of the 18 have been above 500. 11 of those 13 have been double-digit win seasons. So obviously, he has a sterling resume. Again, championships, winning, great culture, great franchise, an iconic franchise of stability, 18 years. There's a lot to like. But let's start here, okay? Would I be interested, or should anyone be interested? Of course, you should be interested to engage and discuss the conversation amongst ourselves. Why wouldn't we? When a name of this magnitude hits the market. But my question is this, folks, is that Harbaugh is now going to be at the top of everyone's wish list. Every team that has a vacancy, Harbaugh just went number one. So you're competing with every team that has a vacancy right now. And apparently, you're competing with teams that don't even have vacancies. According to Adam Schefter, 45 minutes after Harbaugh was fired, his agent received 7 calls from 7 different teams expressing interest. And if you do the math with your hands, wait a second, 7, what does that mean? Well, there were 6 openings before Harbaugh got fired. There were 7 with him getting hired. I imagine one of the 7 teams that called Harbaugh was not the Ravens, who just fired him, which means at least one team called Harbaugh's agent, who already has a head coach, and said, hey, would you? Maybe? Possibly? And according to NFL insider Diana Rossini, it's even more than one. That even more than one team that has a head coach has called Harbaugh's agent to gauge. Here's the problem, in my opinion. Okay? Here's the problem. So what do you do with Aaron Glenn? Do you fire him immediately and then just go balls to the wall to Harbaugh? Try to give him a blank check? For those who don't know, there's no salary cap for coaches, so you could offer any amount of money, I guess. I mean, there's no restrictions per se. So do you fire Aaron Glenn and just go balls to the wall? Woody flies to Baltimore, wherever the hell Harbaugh is, puts a blank check on the table, slides it across to Harbaugh and says, you can put any amount, it doesn't matter, you're the head coach. Any length of time, any money, any of this, here you go. Is that what they do? And then if that is the plan, hey, we got 5 first-round picks. You can pick whatever quarterback you want. You're going to have cap space. We have $100+ million this year. We got $200+ million next year. You can build the team in your vision, buddy. You can build the team in your vision. So let's say they do that, make that aggressive push to push all the chips in the middle of the table and do it. And then what if you miss out? Then what? Right? Then what do you do? So Harbaugh out in that scenario, like you miss out. That's very possible. Everyone and their mother wants John Harbaugh. And then you just fired Aaron Glenn. So who the hell's the head coach now? Do you now just do a search and go, well, let's try to find someone else? That sounds like a disaster. And then what if you do this? You say, hey, Paul, what did you just say about the insiders? They reported that teams that currently have head coaches called Harbaugh's agent. So why don't you go through the back channels, the back streets, and reach out to Harbaugh and say, hey, man, if maybe we fired Aaron Glenn, we're not firing him right now, but if we did, would you do it? And then if you somehow got that in writing or something to guarantee that you don't flub up that situation, here's the problem. What if that leaks out? Okay, so Aaron Glenn remains head coach while you're doing some weird shit behind the scenes trying to see if Harbaugh will come. What if it comes out from a reporter? They're like, you know what? The Jets made a full court press to get Harbaugh, and Aaron Glenn's still here. That would be a disaster. Oh, my goodness. The locker room, the team, the everything, that they would find out that the Jets were aggressively pursuing Harbaugh, and they're like, but they're saying front-facing, AG's our guy. But behind the scenes, it's not true. Behind the scenes, they're trying to, cut him off at the knees and go get Harbaugh. Now, while some fans may not care, they're like, I don't care. I think AG sucks. Blah, blah, blah. Do whatever you can to get Harbaugh. And if Aaron Glenn gets his panties in a twist, so be it. That's maybe what some people will say. So there's a lot that goes on here of and again, it's a conversation. I'm looking forward to hearing phone calls from the great people in the audience tell me why they think the Jets should go on all in on Harbaugh, why maybe they shouldn't. But I'm just trying to lay everything out on the table so we can talk about it. Because Harbaugh, of course, his resume is impressive. I'm not blind. So his resume is impressive. Let's put that in a bucket. But again, do you fire Aaron Glenn after saying so strongly that you back him and you fire him to go get Harbaugh? And then if you get him, then woohoo, look, we won. We got Harbaugh. And I've heard people make the Bill Parcells, the Leon Hess moment. This is your Bill Parcells. And you get him, you land him. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But if you don't land him and you fired Glenn, then what do you do in a pool that is underwhelming? And then if you try to back join it and keep Aaron Glenn at the same time so you can have your cake and try to eat it too, that you keep Aaron Glenn just in case you don't get Harbaugh, you still have Glenn, the guy that you backed. And then if that ever leaks out, that sort of sabotages and tanks Aaron Glenn's candidacy and ability to turn this around, because he will know that the Jets were trying to replace him. So it's a very touch and go situation here. Very touch and go. But here's the thing. Here's an update we'll give you, because I don't know if we're doing a follow-up show on this. Yesterday, 2 team insiders, after all this Harbaugh rumor stuff, right? Mike Greenberg, Jake Asman, there's a bunch of big-time personalities that said, oh my God, Jets, fire Aaron Glenn, go get Harbaugh. A lot of people in that camp. I wrote an article about it, and that's in the YouTube description down below. So we did put all that out there, but after all the rumors and buzz on social media of like, oh my God, do it. 2 team insiders came out with updates on this situation. And I will read those updates to you. And then I see we have memberships and super chats and things of that nature, which we will go to here. Zach Rosenblatt said last night, let me have it here. Okay. Quote, I do not expect the Jets to be one of those teams contacting Harbaugh. They're committed to Aaron Glenn for 2026, end quote. He was responding to a Diana Rossini report that teams that have vacancies and teams that don't have vacancies are reaching out to Harbaugh. Zach Rosenblatt saying, I don't think the Jets are going to be one of those teams. Now let's go to Connor Hughes, who said this on Twitter last night. Quote, this shouldn't need to be said, but the Jets are committed to Aaron Glenn. They trust in the vision he and Darren Muji have and are ready for 2026, i.e. shutting down all the Harbaugh Jets rumors. So I wrote a piece about that this morning that you guys can check out as well, on top of the piece that's in there from last night about whether or not they should do it or not. And then we have the piece with the updated on the insights. NC Green says the question should read, if Harbaugh agreed to come to the Jets, should we release AG? But that, again, I disagree with that, NC Green, respectfully, about whether that should be the poll. Because how do you get to do that? Because I don't think you get to have your cake and eat it too. Because if you're talking to Harbaugh, that is going to slip out. Unless, because like Woody would likely have to fly to wherever Harbaugh is. And how would someone not stumble upon, why the hell is Woody Johnson in Baltimore? Like, I think that would be very sloppy and that would come out. So there is no specific poll question to ask. If Harbaugh agreed to come to the Jets, should we release AG? Because I think you're going to have to, one of two paths. You either risk it to get the biscuit, you fire AG and just go balls to the wall and go all out to get him, or you try to do it sneakily behind the scenes. But if it comes out in the middle, then it's a disaster fucking. I don't know how you're explaining your way out of that one. I don't believe the path that you present is possible. That the Jets could somehow backdoor channel to Harbaugh's agent and say, hey, we're only firing AG if you guarantee you're coming. And if I'm Harbaugh, I'm like, I don't have to do this backwards dance. I could go to any of these teams I want to. Why would I do this weird thing with the Jets? So I don't know that that's an option. So that's where I push back on that poll idea, quite frankly. But I'll read more of your comments here in just a moment. I see we have some activity in the chat. Let's get to it. Let's see here. Yes. MFC. Mother effing chew, baby. Gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Appreciate you. Is, of course, our YouTube community of Jet fans, where we all come together and commiserate and everything else. That is a second raffle ticket for MFC this month, so much appreciated, mother effing chewy. All right, that membership, by the way, went to Dr. Cornelius. Doctor. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dr. Cornelius. Appreciate your medical insights here, Dr. Cornelius. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. I know we had a super chat in here. Let me get that. Yes, Lou B, Super Jets fan. Every time I get a super chat, we hear from my beautiful daughter, Zariah Luna. So let's get right to it. Wow. 30 million, 2 years up front, highest paid coach ever because we need the most help ever. It will cost Woody more not to. BG, come to the dark side. I just can't, Lou B. Because here's the I've heard some fans on social media. Again, maybe you guys will be able to convince me over the phone lines or through your super chats or anything. And you guys can send me all your ideas that you think are happening here. But the Jets can't make an offer that he can't refuse. And what I mean financially, There is no salary cap for coaches. So literally anyone can match Woody Johnson. He is not the richest owner in the National Football League. He has a lot of money, billions with a B, but he's not the richest owner in the National Football League. So whatever he offers Harbaugh, if another team wants to beat it, they can. And maybe there's just a never-ending story, Stranger Things reference, but a never-ending story of matching and matching and matching and matching, and so I don't know where all that ends. So yeah, financially, I think Woody's in the same pool as everybody else. If you really want Harbaugh, you will pay whatever the price is. So I don't know if that's the issue. So your Harbaugh, you've made. Let me Google John Harbaugh's net worth. How much is that bastard worth? I would imagine a lot of money. Let's see. Let's see what the internet says. Okay, they didn't give me an immediate answer. Oh, north of $75 million. So, like, money is no real object here. Like, it's not like money is going to change Harbaugh's life. So, I don't know how important money is in this next venture. I'm not saying he's going to get paid nothing. He's going to get paid a lot, but I don't know if that's the deciding factor financially. And then we go to the quarterback situation. They just don't have one, but they do have 5 first-round picks, so you could, in theory, reshape the quarterback room in your vision, whether it's go trade for somebody or the draft or what have you. The draft is, of course, risky, no matter how good you feel. Fernando's number 2, who I love so much. Even that's a risk. It's a rookie. You don't know guaranteed. Even the Trevor Lawrence year or Peyton Manning year or this year or that year where you're like, oh, this is the chosen one. This is the guy. And sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong. So, yeah, so I don't know if I could come to the dark side, to be honest. And I don't hate what has happened here from this perspective. The Jets were, the Judy Batista report on Sunday, before the final Jets-Bills game. She said that Woody Johnson has not wavered and will not waver. AG is his guy. Was her report, basically, that the Jets are 1,000% behind AG. And I love that because, again, you want conviction in your decisions. If they decide to fire him, so be it, and we would talk about it. But I don't want wishy-washy. I don't want in the middle. I don't want, it's a coin flip. But we decided to keep him, but who knows? Like, I like that they were emphatic, saying, yes, AG's our guy. And now with all these Harbaugh rumors going around that the insiders check with their sources saying, hey, is there any chance that Harbaugh Jets could happen? And the Jets are like, 100% behind AG. Now, maybe it's just talk, and they're actually going behind the scenes to do stuff. I don't know. I don't have every connection in the world to answer that question. But I like that, hey, no, AG's our guy. Like, ride with your decision. So I kind of like it for the Jets, to be honest with you. And here's the question. We haven't talked about this, but here's the question that everyone has skipped over. Everyone in the last 17 hours, however long it's been. Here's the question. Why are the Ravens moving on from John Harbaugh? Why? Now, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not just trying to play devil's advocate because, people make mistakes. Andy Reid shook free of Philadelphia, and he went to the Kansas City Chiefs, and now he's going to the Hall of Fame. He won a cajillion Super Bowl. So it can work. You're in one place for a long time, go to a new place, and immediate success. It just happened to Andy Reid. It can happen to Harbaugh, sure. But why is it not working in Baltimore? Well, the reason from Ian Rappaport is pretty damning. That apparently, this according to Ian Rappaport, NFL Network, the Insider show last night, Harbaugh lost the locker room. And he wasn't on the same page with Lamar. And while it wasn't 100% of the locker room, it was the majority that told the Ravens ownership and player exit meeting said they're not sure if they want to play for this coach any longer. Whoa, what the hell? Now, maybe message got stale and that's the problem, but that is an absolute big waving red flag of, wait, this guy lost the locker room, and more than half of the locker room said, I don't know if I want to play for this guy anymore. Whoa, what the hell? And we're rushing to bring this guy in? Now, again, he's got a great resume, Super Bowl, winning percentage, all that, but whoa, what the hell? That smells kind of funky. What's going on over there? Is it just a smear campaign of, like, they're just deciding to move on and they're trying to make him look really bad on the way out? I don't know. But that caught my attention, like, oh boy, what is all that about, huh? What is all that about? By the way, Lou B, have 2 raffle tickets to our contest, so thank you very much. Yeah, but that's a challenge flag I throw there for sure. Like, why the hell is this guy? Why is he getting fired by Baltimore? What's going on there? What's happening? So, again, he has a very, very impressive resume. There's no question about it. Hey, look, Mad Merch, baby, just gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Let go. Merch, my guy. 6 raffle tickets to our contest. Beautiful. Let's see who this membership went to, and we'll continue to answer all your super chats and comments. So we got another super chat coming in here. We'll get to that in just a moment. This Mad Merch membership went to Nixie. Nixie, you're now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. And again, Mad Merch, you have 6 raffle tickets to our contest. Thank you, Nixie. Yes, and Mad Merch for gifting that to Nixie. Excellent. All right. Here's a super chat shout out here. Let's go to Dixon Yas 123. Let's go to that one here on the program. Here we go.
Wow.
Thanks for being a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club for 5 months, Dixon. Woody is too stupid to open his eyes and get John Harbaugh. Dixon, the way you say that makes it seem like if Woody wanted Harbaugh, he could get Harbaugh. And is that true? I don't know. But maybe Jet fans just want to see him chase it. But again, what are the ramifications if you miss? Sure, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That is accurate information. Absolutely. But you could leave your team in shambles if you attempt to make an aggressive chase for Harbaugh in swing and miss. Your team could be left in a tough place. That's something to weigh. If some people don't give a flying hoot, which I would imagine that might be some of the theme of the coffee club, then you just make the chase and you go all in and you deal with the ramifications later, I suppose. That would be one way to do it, you know? That could be one way to perceive it. Let's see what the YouTube poll says at this current moment in time. We got 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Now let's see what the poll is. Should Jets immediately fire Aaron Glenn to hire ex-Ravens head coach John Harbaugh? Either yes, this is our moment, or no friggin' way, that's crazy. 67% of you right now says, yes, this is our moment. Let's go chase this guy. There you go. That's it. To me, I don't know. Like, again, if the Jets hired Harbaugh, it would be hard to be upset at it. I mean, everything about him is outside of why he's getting fired. That's kind of that's kind of concerning. But no, the rest of it's all like, wow, that would inject the fan base with all kinds of juice, I would imagine. For sure. That would be. Alon has a comment here. BG, you listened to yesterday's presser. I did. I can confirm. I cut up all the clips on social media. So if you want, you guys could go back and see all what to me stood out from their 20-minute conversation with the media. Are you more confident in Glenn or less? Am I more confident in Glenn or less after that press conference? Am I more confident or less? I would say more confident. And some of the key questions I had when we were going through this is AG going to be open to staff changes? He seems very open. While he says he won't specifically get into who's going to be fired and who won't be, I didn't need that. I didn't need blood being spilled at the table. But that he's open to coaching staff changes, that's terrific. He needs to be open to that. Coaching staff changes and additions. There were 2 separate questions. One on people losing their jobs and one on people gaining jobs. Not just replacement, but like adding to the staff. So that I liked to hear for sure. And some of the things they said are just things that you're supposed to say, right? They're going to exhaust every option at the quarterback position. God, I hope so. I hope they investigate every possible option. Yeah. So, we didn't get groundbreaking news. The Muji saying we play, and I'm going to paraphrase this, but, we plan to get respectable and win immediately. Like, we could turn this thing around. And I believe they can. They've got plenty of cap space. They have over, $100 million, because the money's going to roll over from this season. So they're going to have over $100 million in cap space at least. And then with moves to come, They've got 11 projected draft picks in this class. I mean, they have all kinds of ammo to be able to load the bleep out of this team. Now, let's see what it means. I'm not saying that immediately means Super Bowl. I'm not saying that means playoff. I don't know what that means, but just get better, which shouldn't be hard. They had 3 wins last year, for Pete's sake. And then the other thing that I took out from the AG presser yesterday, I mean, there was a lot of things I took out, but I know we're doing all the Harbaugh stuff now. Was that AG talked about earning the trust of the fans. After this season, he understands how that is difficult for people to just believe. So that was another big takeaway for sure. Yes. Let's see. And real quick on the Moochie thing of saying, like, we expect to be respectable and winning immediately, basically. Whether you believe that or not is your own preference. But the reason why I highlight it is because he has drawn the line in the sand. Like last year, there was the whole thing about AG saying we're winning now, all this, and that changed this dynamic of what the season was supposed to be, and then they didn't win, and then it was a whole thing. But Muji saying that puts inherent pressure. There was already pressure when he come off a 3-14 year. There's already inherent pressure with a lot of different things. But I think that just really increased the heat in the room. Like, oh, okay. Well, let's see it, buddy boy. R&R asks, which happens first? BG gets on Survivor or Jets have a winning record? Oof. Well, I've been applying to get on Survivor since the last time the Jets had a winning record, which was 11 years ago now in 2015. But that's a good point. I don't know. That's a good question, though. We'll see. Can I get on any game show before the Jets have a winning record? That might be possible to get on the game show first. Let's do this. We're going to open up the phone lines here on the program, but oh, yeah, let's go to Renzel real quick in here. Oh, whoops. The comments are coming in so fast, I missed it. Let me see. First off, I see Sal in here says, I like the Muji part of the presser. I did as well. I thought he was calculated, had a lot of really good answers. There's Renzel on Twitter. BG, imagine Glenn makes the playoffs next year. How would these AG haters going to be? LOL, wow. I mean, we'll see how they react. I think they're just going to they're going to just mosey on over. Like, people are celebrating like, woo. And then they like sort of come in with a woo. I'm glad I was wrong. Like, yeah. I assume that's it. But I imagine those same people that don't believe in AG and think he's going to be fired and all these other things, while they will join us in the jubilation and celebration that exists with playoffs or anything that hopefully happens in the future, I imagine they will be even louder if they're right. So if AG does suck and get destroyed, gets fired midseason, or is awful next year, those people will be a lot more obnoxious and louder in 2027 saying, you should have listened to us. We're always right. That's going to be louder than if the Jets turn it around, start winning, and they're like, yay, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. Let's open up the phone lines. We can hear some of your cases live here on the program of whether or not you think Harbaugh is the answer. So, folks, make sure you guys like the video of the 300 plus we have in the room. 130 of those are on YouTube. Hit that like button on the show, baby. Let's see what the hell we're up to, by the way, real quick, as we're getting ready for the phone lines. Let's see. Take a quick gander, get the reading glasses out here. All right. We are up to 45 likes on YouTube, but we got 130 plus people in the room on YouTube. So, folks, make sure that you hit that like button, please, and thank you. That gets this Jet Show in front of other Jet fans out there in the universe. Also, quick little check here. We are only 6 subscribers away from 8,280. So 6 people out there watching on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, baby. Help us get to 8,280 live on the show. That'd be pretty cool. For now, let's do this. We'll play a half timeout. Your phone calls next. Harbaugh, Jets, maybe.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Fucking daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, Jets.
Jets!
Boy, green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy, green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, let's go!
Yes, there you go, the Hepster baby. And by the way, that video was filmed by the one and only Lou Me Super Jets fan who was at our tailgate this year. And hopefully we're doing many more tailgates together as a family. That will be spectacular. We have over 300 people in the room, folks. Make sure you guys like that video, hit subscribe. I see this question coming in, a suggestion, and normally the customer's always right. We always go to the people. I see this from Old Yank. Hey, BG, can you do a poll for the playoffs or not? Pop up our 26 schedule, please. I got bad news, Old Yank. Our schedule is not out. We only know the opponents. And how do I put this lightly? We don't know who the hell our quarterback is, man. How could we possibly say playoffs or I'm an optimistic guy, but like I don't even know who's our quarterback. How could I possibly say playoffs or not playoffs or anything in between, man? So I cannot do that, I'm afraid. But hey, I am more than willing to do it once this roster comes together. We're in May, June, July. Whatever you guys want to talk about that, I'm open to those conversations. Sure, we can prognosticate and discuss whether that's possible. But yeah. JCK said, "Who yelled moron? Who do you think yelled moron, Jack?" Do 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 do. Up. I'm being told it was my father who yelled moron several times during that. So thank you very much. All right, without further ado, let's go on in to the phone lines. Let's dive into the deep end of the pool. First off, we'll start with Chef Kevin Gilbert. Chef's gone. Wow. That was the shortest Chef Kevin Gilbert call of my life. That was the shortest call of all time from Chef Kevin Gilbert. I don't know what happened there. Technical difficulties, perhaps. So, wait, I think we got him back. So let's do take two. Me. Okay, let me make sure I deliver this right. Let's go to Chef Kevin Gilbert.
BG, man, how's my audio?
Okay, yeah, your audio's much better now. You were silent before. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Hey, man, shout out to you. Shout out to the Coffee Club members, man. You know, Coffee Club members, keep doing your thing, man. Number one Austrian Jet fan, I see you. Johnny boy, get better, man. We all thinking about you. So it's the new year, right, BG? We it's what day 3 of the day 2, right? Day 2 of the off season. Seems like we off to a good start. I just want to see. I heard yesterday, you came out swinging. I heard you didn't take your fiber pills, or
I apparently did not.
Want to make sure you're good today. I heard a lot of cursing, a lot of swinging.
Those things occurred. I can't deny that happened. Yes.
Yo, man, I applaud you. Listen up, man. Like, I applaud you because you're one of them cats or whatever that's standing up for AG. I don't know why, but that's you. I'm not gonna tell you how to fan. That's what it is for you, saying that you believe more now after hearing that presser, man. Yo, all right, man. I'm not gonna knock the sails out your wings, man. You allowed to do what you want to do, man. I mean, your polls definitely go the opposite of the way that, like, aggressively how you feel on your platform. So it's kind of what it is, man. For me, I want to start off with some positivity, if that's cool with you, man.
Please,
I know you like the positivity and everything like that, right? So I got a great idea, man. All right.
Okay.
Since our head coach sucks, man, how about we fire him? All right. There's a ton of coaches available on the market right now. Now, I know with us fans, we talk about the Harbaughs and everybody else. I really don't think that they're going to want to come to this mess. All right. I think they're just going to want to be like, you know what, you guys figure it out when it looks like the tide is turning. Then y'all need a coach, let us know. But I think maybe like to maybe get out of the money a little bit to like just to save AG, man, because all of us before this head coach and stuff, like we all liked him, man. Like he's a likable dude, likable jet. Yo, he put in the work, man. Like nobody could deny that, man. When he was on that field, he was a dog for sure. It's turning, man, with the production, man, losing the locker room. Like I just heard you just, a couple minutes ago talking about how Harbaugh lost the locker room. I don't know if it's allegedly or not. Pretty adamant about that. I mean, Glenn lost the locker room as well. So that's like, pretty tough, especially in your first year. And he's saying he's learning. I hate this, man. Like we always give these coaches a learning like platform, a learning curve, and they're learning on our dime. All right, like it's it's just making this like push this back. Even it's making this rebuild just a lot longer. And it's like, can we get that experience? All right, we didn't, and we gave him a shot. All right, we trusted him. Okay, he's this plan, this whatever this plan is, man. The plan A didn't work. The plan B didn't work. Now all of a suddenly, we don't have a defensive coordinator. We don't have that quarterback. Okay, we're going to get a quarterback in the draft, maybe, or we'll get it in free agency. Whatever it is, man. Do we all feel confident that this is going to go in the right direction? Like you feel confident, but I'm not even really trying to knock you. I'm just, saying what it is. Like you also said that we were gonna win 12 games this season. All right. So one thing that I know I could like is BG just blowing smoke, or is he for real? Like he's legit with his reporting. The 12 wins, man. I'm like scratching my head, like, yo, how did you come up with the 12 wins? And then when I what like baffles me a little bit more, like I'm watching, I didn't watch everyone from start to finish with your play by plays, but you was just getting doing your play by plays during the games, and the energy was just, it was deflating you. I'm feeling bad for you. Like the highlight that I saw, like the highlight out of all this that you did was when homeboy blocked that McDonald blocked that field goal and took it the other way. Like you was I never seen excitement like that before. And guess what? We lost. We lost that
Yeah,
game.
we did. Yeah.
Like I think like, the Cincinnati game, like it took a lot, like the emotions. We lost a great one in Mangold. We
Mhm.
also needed Flacco to be the quarterback. We also needed Breeze to throw a touchdown. Like we needed a lot just to win by one, man. Whatever. That was still something that we needed. That was something where I'm like, you know what? What's it? Fields admitted, like, hey, look, man, like, I'm praying to God. I was crying in a closet, all the stuff. Yo, I felt bad. Yo, I felt bad. I came onto your show. I was like, yo, I feel bad for the dude. Like, yo, everybody got some kind of faith or whatever, and for him to just like, just get down and just, let it out and all that, knowing that he got 30 M's, man, like, yo, it was something deeper, man. And he just couldn't overcome it. And it sucked. Yo, it sucked. Like you don't see Justin Fields truthers anymore. Like they're gone. All right. It seems like they kind of migrated over to Aaron Glenn, which is cool. Like I see the stuff, like, the Aaron Glenn, hey, give him a chance and he deserves it. I just don't see how this realistically, we all got to be real with ourselves, like how this can turn around. Special teams, okay, all right. Like Isaiah Williams, I feel like we're giving Aaron Glenn too much credit with the Isaiah Williams. I don't think Aaron Glenn was in his ear coaching him. All right. I feel like that's more of a banjo thing. I feel like his scheme and the blocking and what they were doing, that's on banjo, more on banjo than AG. Now with what AG did with the roster moves with Isaiah to kind of like accountability, whatever, like, he was preaching. I felt like, that kind of helped a little bit too. But for the most part, man, you got to give the credit to Banjo. And then when you want to say, hey, look, Glenn hired Banjo and all that. Like, cool. Hey, props. But he also hired Wilkes. you know, like I mean, we pulling straws, man. And at the end of the day, it's about these wins, man. Like the roster. Oh, we didn't evaluate. We over evaluated. Yo, these are the same dudes from last year. They got 5 wins last year, basically the same. Don't talk about no Harrison Phillips, man. Don't. Oh, he's good. Yo, you kidding me? Yo, you see his stats, man? Stop it. Briggs is good. Okay, show me the stats. Show me where he was a difference maker. And then it's like, oh, they didn't have a team. Man, these are the same dudes from last year, man. Let's see. Hey, I'll play the game, man. You guys want to play the game? I'll play the game. I'll wait and see who we draft. Because listen, they're not gonna. The smartest thing that AG did was have that presser the day after the regular season was done. That was literally the smartest thing that he did. It almost felt like he's like a drug dealer up there talking like, yo, I got this stuff, man. Yo, just trust me. Like, yo, it's good stuff. Just trust me. Like, you don't have to question me. Trust me, bro. I got you. It could be this, it could be that. Yo, I got these picks. I got a bunch of Woody's money. I'm getting paid. Like, yo, it just seemed like a bunch of chatter, man. I sent you the super chat, man. I might have missed it during the Bills joint. I didn't even watch that game, man. I already knew I already knew what was going down. I honestly admit I didn't watch a single snap of that game, man. And I had all the opportunity to do it. I just knew what it was going to be. I didn't want to put myself through it or my son. We already know season's done, whatever. But I was watching your watch along, the play by play stuff or whatever. I was plugged in. I sent a super chat to you. I don't know if you saw it. If you did and you said it, I missed it. What is our brand of football?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yes. I
Okay.
did.
You didn't answer. I don't know if you was, okay. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if that is a standing question, what is our brand of football? What AG pumps his chest about is that we run the football, and that part of it was accurate. We were a top 10 rushing team this season, so that part of his brand was true.
Shout out
But
Brees
everything,
Hall.
yeah, Brees, 1K. Hey,
My
man,
guy.
better
Brees
late
in
than never.
space. Let's go.
Appreciate that in year 4. Thanks,
1,000
buddy.
yards. Let's go.
Yeah, 100%. But everything else about his brand just didn't exist. The defense, I don't even know what name or label you want to put on that defense, but that's obviously not his brand. The passing game, if you look at those charts of like, hey, here's how all the quarterbacks performed the last month and a half, you see this chart. It has all these dots on it with all the quarterbacks in the league. You're like, oh, where the hell are the Jets? And then someone just has to grab my face and go, ooh. I'm like, oh, there he is. Oh, there he is down there. Brady Cook. He's like in the bottom left-hand corner of this like little chart. That's yodelay, yodelay, yodelay. Where's all the quarterbacks for the last 6 weeks? And he's all the way down there. So that brand currently isn't for AG. So yeah, the only thing that he can stand on business, stand on 10 toes, is the running game. And quite frankly, even though the running game numbers are top 10 of the stats, like, even if you look, there was a lot of inconsistency. Brees Hall should have gotten 1,000 yards way before week 17. That should have happened to like week. I don't have the schedule for him, but like week 14 or something. Like, he was on pace for like 1,200 yards. He should have had it a long time ago, but he kept only getting like under 68 yards rushing for like a 5-game stretch. You're like, what the hell is going on there? So even though that's their brand wasn't executed well. So
cool.
Yeah.
Could I defend Brees on that?
Oh, please. Sure.
I'm a Brees guy. So
of course. Yeah.
With our offense, you can't get in rhythm if you don't have the ball. We're 3 and outs, man. We're not getting first downs. We're not getting chunk yardage at all. We're not moving the ball down the field. So if you trying to go on like, hey, he had a whole game, he didn't score. Yo, we're not getting the ball on offense. Our defense is on the field the whole damn game. They're getting gas. You see all them points that these teams are putting on the last 5 games. Like, yo, that's ridiculous, dude, man. He needs to be fired off of that stuff or whatever. But I ain't gonna get into everything like
I will
that.
say
We already
that's
know
fair.
what it is. It was bad, man. But the offense ain't getting the rock.
Yeah, right. And that's fair. And again, Brady Cook was also terrible. So then everyone said, all right, well, we're going after Brees. So hey, that's fair.
But that was on AG though. AG was keeping on taking the questions from the media about Brady, like, yo, is Brady gonna play? Brady gonna play? And he's like, we got a plan. We got a plan. You know, he's not ready yet. All this other kind of stuff. Like, yo, he was talking the talk, and that was getting other people. Yo, I'm hearing people on your show and other shows like, yo, Brady Cook, Brady Cook. I'm like, yo, what are we talking about Brady Cook for, man? Like, for me, somebody in this food industry, I would love nothing for him to be cooking. All right. The last time I supported a person with the last name Cook, I was getting heckled in my seats, the AKA Dalvin Cook. I was getting roasted in my seats wearing that jersey. Everyone saying, take that shit off in my seat, in my section when I have my season tickets. Yo, crazy, man. So the Brady stuff, yo, that's on G. That's on Aaron Glenn. Yo, that was him, man. A UD, like everyone, please, like we really thought that he was gonna do something. And I remember the people, man. I remember the people that was chanting for him, for Cook. And then, and thank you for not bringing up the block field goal stuff, man, because that's something too where it's like, yo, on offense, we're not getting the ball in any kind of red zone field goal position anyway to kick these damn field goals. So the less opportunities we had to kick a field goal, the less opportunities for it to get blocked.
That's
It's
true.
it's math, man. It's math, man. Like come on with the stuff. Thank you, BG, man. You're level headed, man. We could have the talks. I have no problem talking this stuff, man. All right, there's some people that get offended. Oh man, you don't believe in our coach and all this. I understand the passion for it. I was talking to some cat the other day. It's like for the Knicks. All right, let's say we hired Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing's my dude, man. Grew up watching him, all that kind of stuff. Let's say he took over the Knicks and did a trash job like AG. I'll be like, damn. I'm like, yo, give him a chance, man. Like, yo, it's Patrick, give him a chance. He's a good guy. I mean, he said he got a plan. Yo, we gotta believe. Yo, it's Patrick. Come on, we gotta believe this guy, man. Come on. Like, I understand it. But then when it gets to the like, all right, yo, where's the facts? Where's the stuff like what do we have? What do we have to show? I've been telling y'all, free agents ain't coming here, man. They didn't come last year. They ain't coming. They ain't coming this year. The free agents that we got, not trying to throw stones, but your boy Cisco. Oh, the Stevens. Yo, y'all try to sell me on Steve. I couldn't believe y'all try to sell me on Stevens.
Wait, Stevens is okay.
My man, yo, how much he's getting paid to be okay? How many picks he got? Come on.
Zero.
What he come here for? Yo, he was known in Baltimore for dropping the ball.
So at least he's consistent. He's consistent.
Facts. Yo, facts.
Consistently dropping the ball, but still.
The free agents, and then the line. Yo, AG can't hang his hat on the line, man. Health wise, I can say that. Listen, hear me out.
Okay.
Membu. Oh, I'll give you Membu. All right. Mm-hmm. The other four, that's from the last regime. If AVT didn't go down, Josh Myers wouldn't have been playing. So you can't tell me that this line is built by AG. Not at all. Not in the least bit, man. Please, go. You want to say go? That ain't AG's line, man. That's the previous regime, man.
Well, that's true. But what I would say is, while a lot of the players are from the previous, the level of play was the difference of the Keith Carter, who everyone wanted gone, to Steve Hyden. AG hired a tight ends coach to coach up the linemen, and it was so much better than Keith Carter that for the first time in 14 years, we had a starting 5 offensive line that was the same from week 1 all the way through week 18. I mean, AG, again, for the right, we say, ooh, AG hired Banjo, so you get that. Well, AG hired Steve Hyden, who helped to turn the offensive line around. So we don't have to build the statue for AG because he, quote unquote, built this blank, which is the offensive line, because you're right, some of the pieces were already there, but he got them to be together in the right direction of leadership to get the right coach in there that maximized. Now, I don't think the offensive line was number 1 in the NFL. I don't think it was last. I think it was somewhere in the middle. They had really good games, had really bad games, and hopefully the younger cats, Armon, Olu, a lot of these guys are under the age of 27 outside of Simpson. So I guess Myers is a new one that gets run in there, but he's still younger too. So for the most part, yeah, I'd give AG credit for that. Sure.
The health. I told you the health. I I
Yeah.
clearly say that, the health. I'll give him that. I'll give
Yeah.
him that because that was something with the last regime. Like, cats just couldn't stay healthy. So for whatever it is, cool. But it's also what I was saying before about the time of possessions that we have on offense. The less times you out there on offense, the less snaps, the less times you have to get injured. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's what it is. Less pounding on your body. It's it's football, man. This is the game. This is the game that we love, that we watch, man. Um, I don't really have much else to say, man. Like, I know we're keeping Glenn. That's, there's no kind of where in my head where I'm like, yo, yeah, we definitely firing him just because they just did that presser, man. And then with the things that you were saying, which I'm already aware about, it gets messy, but Woody's the guy that does get messy. So it doesn't get past me. But I still feel at this point, man, it's like they did what they did. They sold Pro Bowl players. They got these picks, man. They got this cap space. It's the off season, so we got a ton of time to do the what ifs, the hypotheticals, the trade scenarios, all this stuff, man. All I want to see is wins, man. That's what I wanted at the beginning of the season. That's what I always want. I was cheering for wins when everyone was like, nah, just tank, just tank, just tank. Towards the end, I'm like, yeah, all right, I bought in at the end. I get it, but I'm somebody, I want to see wins, man. If y'all don't want to see wins, then throw stones at me. I want to see wins, man. And if AG can't turn this around, which I don't, I have zero trust that he can turn it around. But yeah, hey, be patient for another year, right? That is, we
What
got
other choice
we
do we
got
have?
time.
I
Some of us don't,
suppose.
man.
Right.
What it,
Yeah.
it's just when it's looking at you in the face where it's like, yo, what's the vision? What's the plan? And they're like, yo, just trust me. Like, we got this. But they're saying like, yeah, we're learning, like we're figuring it out. Well, guess what, man? You think the Bills are gonna get worse next year? You think the Pats are gonna get worse next year? You think the Dolphins are gonna get worse next year? They're all gonna get better. They all have better players than us. They all have better coaching than us. They all got better culture. They got better everything than us. So we really got to make a statement to be able to get some wins, man, and to really turn this thing around, man, because this past year it was not pretty at all, and it's tough for us Jet fans who are diehards that root and stick with this team to really feel proud, because at this moment, man, it's that product ain't really, they're not doing the thing, they quit. So BG, I appreciate what you do, my brother. Keep on rocking, keep fighting the good fight, man. Just listen to Pops, man. All right, Pops is always going to have your best interest at heart, man. Make sure you listen to your old man.
Will
Have a good
do.
one.
There he is, Chef Kevin Gilbert, joining us on the show. A lot of thoughts there. A lot of thoughts. And a massive respect to Chef Kevin Gilbert. Massive respect to Chef. We have a massive super chat coming through. Whoa, mama.
Wow.
Our boy Armani AD, $20 super chat. Thanks, brother. BG, keep doing your thing. Definitely appreciate you being rational. Social media is flooded with negativity. Why pile on? I've been a Jet fan for 32 years. I don't lose sleep because we kept AG. I have a life. Respect, BG. Okay, well, Armani, first off, you have 6 raffle tickets to our contest. You're $1 away from another one, so thank you very much. And yeah, I'm seeing some people talking about the Harbaugh thing in the comment section saying, should we even be talking about this? Is this even possible? It's like, well, we have the number 2 overall pick. Is it possible that Fernando Mendoza is going to be there? I don't know. The odds would say no, but we're going to talk about the possibility. That's what this offseason is going to be about. Speculation. What quarterback? Which quarterback? Sign? Trade? Draft? Coaches? All right, AG safe. Is he safe? No, he's safe. Is he safe? I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. We're going all over the place here. So I'm open to having the conversations. Again, to this Harbaugh thing, my take is this. I don't think Harbaugh would pick us, candidly. Maybe he would. I don't know. We have 5 first-round picks and cap space and money and everything else. So maybe he would. Maybe he wants to, see something in his vision. So maybe. But I don't think so. So that's number 1. And then number 2, okay, let's play in the sandbox. You want Harbaugh to come here, and the Jets are like, you know what, fuck it. Let's go try to figure this thing out. Again, you have 2 paths. It's, the end of the Goosebumps book. Oh, you get to pick your ending. How does this story end? You get to pick which path to go down. Well, if you're the Jets, you got 2. You just fire AG and you just, all right, sorry, AG. The answer being Harbaugh or bust is cool with us. See, AG. And then just run after Harbaugh. And if you wildly swing and miss, yikes. Or path 2. You keep AG, say, no, he's our guy. But behind the scenes, yeah. Let's go try to see if we could get that Harbaugh guy and try to go behind the scenes and make these calls and see if there's any legitimacy. And then you operate in that way. Again, I just think it's risky. If you fire AG and go after Harbaugh and miss, I hate all the options that are available, candidly. That's the thing that has got me. If we went into a different offseason where we were overflowing with names and we have this great opportunity, and you know what? AG, can he turn it around? Maybe. I don't know. He's never been a head coach before. The first year certainly didn't give you a lot of great signs that he can. All right, we need to chase one of these options. Okay. But the side piece where you keep AG and you're trying to flirt with Harbaugh while you have AG, I'm a man of commitment. I mean, I've been engaged to my fiance for like 30 years, for God's sakes. I'm as committed as anyone on the planet. So from a Jets perspective, that just could get real sloppy real quick and could cause a lot of issues. So that's sort of where I'm at from that conversation. But Armani, you're the best, baby. Appreciate that. Thank you kindly here on the program. Let's go back to the phone lines. But before we do, we're only 4 subscribers away from 8,280. So people, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching here on the YouTube. We do daily New York Jets video shows. We have 140 people watching on YouTube and over 400 people watching across our social media platforms. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's apparently a hard word to say for a person here on January 7th. And let's go back to the phone lines. Up next is Hep.
Hey guys, hey Paul, hey fellas. I was thinking about the crazy similarities between us and the Patriots from last year. It just seems like so many, that having the court, a possible an elite coach come out and then jumping on them, and we're at a crossroads.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, the other thing is I looked at the schedule next year. That's a gauntlet next year.
Yeah, let's pull that up. We have that.
Yeah.
The Jets opponents for 2025. So let's or 2026 rather. That is now official. So let's see if they have a nice little graphic here. They do on the Jets website. Let's take a gander here at who they have to play, and also where are we going for a tailgate? That's another biggie here for this.
I think we got the Raiders. That might be a win for us.
Yeah, see, there you go. Right, we could get the Mendoza-Moore clash. That could be possible. That could be. Okay, here it is. I have it now here. Sorry, it was a monkey operating a spotlight over here. Okay, here is the opponents for the New York Jets next season. And yes, there appears to be some difficult challenges here for the NYJ. For those who don't know, here it is. Let me throw this up. The 2026 opponents are as follows here on StreamYard. You guys should be able to see that. Oh, here it is. Okay, there we go. Jesus, took forever. All right, so here are our opponents. These are the home opponents, and those are the road opponents. At home, we play the Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings, Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders, Cleveland Browns, Buffalo Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, of course, in our division. And then on the road, we got the Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Arizona Cardinals, Chiefs, Chargers, Titans. Yeah, come on. Hep, it seems pretty obvious. This is 17-0 to me. I mean, that seems that seems plain Jane. But no, you're talking about playoff teams, right? Packers playoff team, Broncos playoff team, Bills playoff team, Patriots, Chiefs, right? Even though they weren't in the playoffs, we all know what the Chiefs are. Although Patrick Mahomes' ACL exploded and their backup quarterback's ACL exploded. So when do we play the Chiefs? Is it the beginning of the year? Is it late in the year? If we play at the beginning of the year, we're playing. I don't even know who the hell is going to be playing at quarterback for the Chiefs. So that could be a factor, right? The AG revenge game. AG going back to Detroit for the first time. That's going to have some juice. But there's some winnable games, right? Cardinals stink. Titans stink. Browns
I'm looking at the Raiders, the Browns.
Raiders, yeah.
Maybe Miami once.
Sure.
The Titans.
There you go.
And maybe St. Louis, and I don't see anything else that looks good. So looking at 5 wins.
No, but way more than that. Come on, Hep. Bump it up, baby.
I mean, we don't know what our team is even.
Yeah,
So
we
it
don't know
could
who
be,
our quarterback is. Yeah,
we don't
right.
know anybody. We have we're probably going to be turning over like 40% of our roster. So
It could be. Yeah, we're
yeah,
like second or third in the NFL with our it doesn't mean we're going to lose them all, but with the most pending free agents ahead of free agency, yeah, we're like third most in the league. It's like 24, 25, 26, something like that. It's a lot of players. Yeah, it's a big group.
I've seen a report. I don't know if this is true or not, but statistically, the Jets were the 10th worst team in NFL history.
All right. So it could have been worse. Nice.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, we have 10 other teams ahead of us.
That's right. All right. Not bad. Okay. All right. Could have been much worse. That's good to
The
hear.
other thing was it on not Matt O'Leary, the other guy Ryan. He was saying that he goes, "Do you realize that we haven't had an last time they were doing interceptions? The Jets didn't have an interception. When they first started doing interceptions, the jet plane was not even in mass production."
Yeah, right. I think someone did this. Let me see if I can find it. Right. Things that were invented in 1933.
Yeah,
So let's, because that was since those have been tracked, there's been the concept of stereo sound. Oh, that's good to know. Okay. The
yeah.
iconic chocolate chip cookie. Okay.
Oh my God, the chocolate.
Wow, there you go. That's what the internet says. So yeah, there's a few random items here of things that are created. FM radio. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. That is wild. Of the last time that a team went a full season without an interception, that's unbelievable. But you know what? To me, again, there when we talk about turnovers, now normally it's not to the extreme of zero because that's never happened before, but they talk about turnover regression, both positive and negative. And normally, if you have a year where the ball bouncing your way a lot, the next year it sort of balances out. That's what's supposed to happen. So the fact that we had zero means, boy, are we due for a bunch of oblong-shaped footballs bouncing in our way in 2027, 2026 rather. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Here's an idea. If you could do like a raffle, like a $2 raffle or something, and whoever picks the right quarter and the right game, will we have our first interception next year?
Oh yeah.
Or they'll win a coffee cup or something,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we'll have to do like one. Yes. That's a good idea. It's almost like box squares for the Super Bowl, and then you try to pick your quarter, pick your game when it's going to happen. That'd be good. I like that, Ep.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate you. Yes, we're live every single day, baby, at 7:30 in the morning. We'll also be back live at 11 o'clock for the Harbaugh sweepstakes. That'll be we'll be talking NFL with PFF NFL analyst Dalton Wasserman. So we're live all the time here on this channel, baby. We're live all the time on this channel. That's what we bring to the conversation. Again, 4 subscribers away from 8,280. And make sure you guys like the video. That's a free way to contribute here on the program. Let's go back to the phone lines. Easy is here on the show. What's up, Easy?
Hey, good morning.
That's a good color on you. What's that? Bright neon yellow? What is that?
It's just safety green.
Ah, nice. Okay, that's safety never takes a holiday. I can appreciate that. Very nice.
True that.
Yeah.
So, like, feelings be damned.
Sure.
I would fire him. And
right.
I mean, I would, seriously, I would fire him because I'm going to go for Harbaugh, whether I keep him as the coach, as a back, if I keep Glenn as a backup head coach, if we don't get Harbaugh or not. And I don't think that there's any loss in that because he was so horrible. He's lucky he's not fired now, as far as I'm concerned. So he should be dead man walking anyway. So, I mean, firing him don't mean shit to me because I don't want him anyway. I don't think he's good.
All right, there you go. All right.
I don't care, I mean, if his feelings are hurt, hate it for him, but it is what it is. He's not the one who led this team. I mean, he's the one who led this team to 3-14. Okay. It was under his leadership. It was under his watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his stupid press conferences and his talking shit about this guy and that guy and all this other stuff. No. I mean, he's sitting there taking swipes at Saleh, with the whole thing with
he did, yes. Right. Will McDonald
with,
coaching.
Will McDonald, he's like, because he did a spin move. We didn't know he could do that. Coaching. He's coaching. Get the fuck. Who the fuck? What a dick. I mean, shit. Come on, man. So he's sitting there spouting coaching, and then he couldn't coach his way out of a wet paper bag. So come on.
That was a good AG impression there, Easy. That was very nice.
So I mean, my whole point is, I'm sorry, I'm working as we're talking. My whole point is that we gave him his chance. We gave him his chance. He was an untested, unproven guy, and we gave him an opportunity to try to turn this team around, and he made them worse.
Right.
He had maybe one good hire the entire thing, and that was Chris Banjo, and that might not even have been his idea. We don't know.
Yeah, sure, that's true. I suppose, yeah.
And if it wasn't, could you imagine if he was against hiring Banjo?
Oof.
Because we don't know what goes on.
Yeah, it's true.
But here's my dream team.
All right.
This is what I want to get Harbaugh, and I'll tell you why.
All right.
We get Harbaugh,
All
right?
Sure. Okay.
So Harbaugh will be the head coach.
All right.
Reunite him with Rex, who he worked with when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's true. Okay. All right.
Get Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator.
Whoa.
And we already have Banjo, as our special teams coach.
Wow. That would be a sterling combination. What a coaching staff.
And I think you could get Rex to buy onto that because he's worked with John Harbaugh before.
I see. Okay.
And he would get to be on the team he loves, and he'd be able to help turn this thing around. And he wouldn't have to have the responsibility of the offense. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, move that roll. Yeah, move that roll. All right. Well, we moved the tables and you got that pile of metal right there. Okay, yeah.
All right, we'll go back to EC as he's in the middle of commandeering whatever that was with his truck. Super chat is coming in here from Mr. Chill 211 King.
Wow.
Thanks, Mr. Chill. 3 raffle tickets to our contest. Appreciate you. BG, come on. Can AG outcoach the other coaches in our division? Even with a squad, I don't see AG outcoaching Vrabel, McDermott, or McDaniel. So why are we keeping him? He isn't any good. My God. Well, we'll see if Mike McDaniel's safe. He's sort of been deemed safe, but with a GM opening, I could see a GM that they like go in there, and he's like, I don't want this McDaniel guy. So I don't know if McDaniel's safe. So could he be better than a vacant, empty spot? Maybe, because Mike McDaniel could be fired. Vrabel, obviously, is a former coach of the year and well-respected and had a lot of wins, or I don't want to over-exaggerate. He took the Titans AFC Championship game. I don't want to downplay what he did, but I don't want to overplay it. He took the Titans AFC Championship game and had success down there in Tennessee. And obviously he's having wild success there in New England now. So, Mike Vrabel is held in a high regard. And Sean McDermott has been captain continuity. While he hasn't gotten the Bills over the top, I mean, he's made them a consistent playoff team. I think they've been to the playoffs like 7 years in a row and 8 of the last 9 or something. And they had won the division 4 years in a row or 5 years in a row up until this one with New England. So, can he outcoach him? That is TBD. He certainly didn't this year. They were 0 for 6. So I can't make up things about AG and tell you sweet pleasantries that AG will be able to outcoach him because he has not proven it yet. So the proof is in the pudding. By all accounts, AG is coming back next year or this year, whatever. And so we're going to have to see if he can outcoach him, if he can outfox him. If he gets a better quarterback, is he suddenly coach better? When he gets his defense in instead of running Wilkes' defense, does that all of a sudden look better? It's TBD, man. I don't know. And okay, if you, Mr. Chill 211 King, I again appreciate the super chat. If you don't believe that AG can outcoach these other guys in the division, then I ask a follow-up question. The follow-up question I ask every AG person that says, get rid of this guy. He sucks. I'm like, well, who are you replacing him with? Who? I'm an owl. Who are you replacing with? Who is the guy that is available that you believe would come in here and be able to outcoach Rabel or McDermott or Mike McDaniel or what have you? That would be my follow-up question, Mr. Chill 211 King. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Let's keep it rolling here, baby. And yes, I did see that as well. I see Nate the Great talking about this. I asked the same question. I just want to highlight this real quick. We'll go back to the phone lines. Did I just read a tweet from Manish Mehta regarding Harbaugh's lack of interest in the Jets? When the fuck did Manish come back? I thought the same thing. I saw it come across my Twitter timeline. I'm like, did someone repost a tweet from 10 years ago? What the hell is this? I'm like, Manish Mehta. All right. Welcome back, 2026. But apparently he's got like sort of like a private Twitter, so you can't respond to it and stuff. I think I understand why. But yes, apparently in 2018, according to Manish Mehta, former New York Daily News Jets beat reporter, the Jets tried to make a chase for Harbaugh in 2018. Harbaugh ended up getting an extension from Baltimore, so he wasn't interested. Then the Jets pivoted to Adam Gase. Oh, disgusting. So that's gross, but apparently so. But thank you, Manish Mehta update. Didn't have that on my bingo card, but well, here we are. But that would be easy. That would be a sterling staff that you just brought up. That'd be a sterling staff for sure. That's whoa, real eyebrow raiser. That is for dang sure. Yeah. Let me see here. Let's jump back over to the phone lines here on the program. Who's up next here? All right, let's go. Man with the jet tattoo. Carl's up here on the show. What's up, Carl?
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
Hey,
Listen,
swell. Thanks. Yeah.
Can you please put up the number for the suicide hotline at the bottom of the screen?
Let me see. Can I do that? The suicide hotline. What is the suicide hotline? I don't even know what that number is. I should probably know.
I think some of these fans might need that. They may need to call the suicide hotline. Okay. I have never. Look, I've been watching the Jets for many, many years.
Okay.
I have never heard anything like this. This is fucking insane.
Okay.
What's going on here? Do you believe that somebody can get a job, right? Thank you.
Yeah, here it is. This is the suicide hotline. It's 988. That's Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Languages are available in English and Spanish, hours 24/7. Again, all you have to do is call 988. You can also text 988. There is online chats available if you would like to discuss, and also there's an official website at the link. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, God bless. Of course.
Look, in any profession. I don't care if it's coaching. I don't care what it is. Somebody gets a job and they're not good at it at first, but they learn from their mistakes, okay? And become competent at their job, become good at their job. It's called giving somebody a chance. I mean, with all the advice that we're getting from our Jet fans, what the hell what do they know? What gives them, we watch the Jets. We're not personnel people. Well, if this guy, we get this coach, or if we get this quarterback, or, if this guy falls off a cliff and then they need another coach and whatever. This shit doesn't happen. Why can't we just chill? Why can't we just let it happen? Let it happen. Because no matter what we say, no matter how stressed we get, it's going to happen anyway. I don't think Harbaugh wants to come to the Jets. He's going to have a table set before him for any place he wants to go. We can offer him money, but maybe he's going to say to himself, hey, I don't want to go to that shit show. Maybe that's, but you know what? All I can say is this. If next year, Aaron Glenn comes out and we have a competitive season and we put a competitive football team on the field, I am going to say, I'm going to look at all these people and say, what now? What are you going to complain about now? If we win 6 games next year, they're still going to complain. If we go to the playoffs and we lose the first game, they're going to freak out. So and that's what's going to happen. You know it. That's what happens all the time. Team, you have, look, Buffalo Bills, right?
Sure.
Buffalo Bills have been great, winning the division. How many Super Bowls have they won? How heartbreaking is it to get to that point and lose?
Oof. I wouldn't know as a Jets fan. We've never lost a Super Bowl.
Right, we've never. But how heartbreaking was it when we lost the AFC Championship game?
Devastating. Devastating. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is just chill out, enjoy it, let them do what they do, because no matter what you say, it is not going to change anything.
Okay.
So enjoy, just enjoy it. Enjoy the off season. Enjoy the draft. Enjoy training camp. Let it happen, because we don't know. That's it. We don't know.
Good advice, Carl. Thank you so much. And by the way, folks, if you need to talk, the 988 Lifeline is here. At the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, we understand that life's challenges can sometimes be difficult, whether you're facing mental health struggles, emotional distress, alcohol or drug use concerns, or you're a Jets fan, or you just need someone to talk to. Our caring counselors are here for you. You are not alone. Again, dial 988 if you have any concerns. That is available. That is the Suicide and Crisis Hotline. Folks, let me highlight a couple of comments here real quick before we go back to the phone lines here. M. Villette says, Boy Green, I've got a bunch of names for you for coaches that could outfox some of those people in the division. Let me pull up my reading glasses here. All right, M. Villette, let's dance. Okay, Joe Brady. Hey, one of my other jobs was doing sports talk radio. Now I do it digitally here in New York. Bills fans wanted to fire Joe Brady. And you're telling me that a solution for the Jets is to hire the guy the Bills want to fire to outfox the Bills who know him? Challenge flag. All right, next, John Harbaugh. We've talked about that throughout the show. Kevin Stefanski. He's won 8 games the last 2 years. Pass. Jim Leonard is a head coach. He's a little green for me, and I'm not talking about the Jets. So sorry, Jim. I'd like to see as a defensive coordinator before a head coach. Whoop. Jesse Minter, never been a head coach before. Whoop. Move over inside. Mike McCarthy has been a head coach, but all of his success has come with quarterbacks that were already there. Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott. Whoop. John Gruden. Well, I'm sorry, Chucky. As much as I love you in the QB grinders action, I mean, Johnny, the last head coaching stint did not go well in Vegas, my friend. I'm so sorry. Pass. Jeff Affley, the former Boston College head coach. That's the guy. Pass. Brian Flores. Now, that's a guy that I like a lot. He was successful in Miami, despite the player relationship head coach thing. That was a disaster. But he's a defensive mastermind. I like the cut of the jib. So, Brian Flores, all right, you got me there. And then Kubiak, we've talked about before. Yeah, he's never done it before. He's a first-year guy. I'll give you Flores, though. Flores sort of intrigues me. And then Barbara's question real quick, then we'll go back to the phone lines. What are we doing with JF, Justin Fields? We get nothing for him? Well, he's under contract, as AG so politely put. There is a chance, apparently, they could trade him, but the Jets would have to eat a lot of the guarantees. And according to insiders, my question is this. If you have to cut Justin Fields, which is very possible, that's very likely to happen, you're going to eat the guaranteed money loss anyway. So why wouldn't you pay some of the guarantees if you could get a pick out of it? So if that's even an option, of course the Jets should do that. They should try to trade Justin Fields to Siberia if they could get a conditional 7th-round pick. That's more than getting nothing for him, because for folks who don't know, if you cut a player, the comp pick formula no longer matters. If you cut him, it doesn't matter. If the Jets cut Justin Fields, and let's say it immediately go to the Chiefs, let me be the guy that holds Patrick Mahomes' jockstrap while he's healing from a torn ACL. You get nothing. You get no comp pick if you cut the player. If they leave organically through free agency, like Breece Hall, if the Jets didn't tag him or anything, he just left and signed with another team, the Jets would have a chance at a comp pick. If you cut Justin Fields, you don't. So anywho, long story short, Barbara, it seems more likely than not they're going to cut him. But insiders have said they could trade him if they eat a lot of the guarantees. And my question is, why would they eat the guarantees if you could get anything? So that's what I would try to chase if I'm the Jets. Will it happen? Unlikely. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We have 500 people now in the room. Very busy show here on the program, which we appreciate. Thank you guys for all the interactions here on the program so far. Again, like that video, baby, here on the show. Man, this has been, this is how the offseason is going to go. Whoa, Nelly. This is going to be interesting. By the way, we're now 3 subscribers away from 8,280. So come on now, people. Jump on that train. Let's go to him. He is the voice of reason, our local poet and inspiration and man of many talents. Philliam joins here on the program. Philliam?
Well, good morning, Paul. It's a very nice intro. I don't know if I deserve it, but I appreciate it.
All right, well, try to live up to it, Philliam. What's on your mind?
Well, that's exactly why I called, is to try and be the voice of reason. And you started the show by saying nobody gave you any names that you thought were an upgrade or would make you say, yeah, fire AG. I actually gave you this name yesterday morning before he was fired. Do you recall that?
What name is that, Philliam?
John Harbaugh.
Ah, yes, that one. Like I said, of any of the names, I meant throughout this process, people have given me names. I'm like, that doesn't do it.
Well, yesterday morning, I said, while I'm not a guy who's banging the table to fire Glenn,
sure. Yeah,
I'm also not rah-rah Glenn. Mm-hmm. But if he's our guy, we're going to go forward, and I'm going to hope for the best.
Yeah.
But under these circumstances, with all we have at our disposal, the draft picks, the money, that I'm not sure he's the guy I have the utmost confidence in. And if a guy like John Harbaugh, the exact name I said yesterday morning, was to become available, I would have to pursue that.
So how would you, my follow-up, first off, all the credit to you, Philliam. Of course, you're the wise one and the voice of reason, of course. My follow-up would be, of the 2 paths I've given at the end of the Goosebumps book, you fire AG right now and just go batshit crazy. You just do everything in your power, full court press, and try to recruit Harbaugh here, or try to back channel it. What would you do, Philliam?
Well, again, I'm trying to be the voice of reason as always. I'm not out here saying fire AG, hire Harbaugh, bring in Rex Ryan, and it's all fixed. Okay. I have every reasonable belief that John Harbaugh will not come here no matter what we offer him. What I'm saying is, you offer him everything, full control, however much money, the years, whatever. If the guy says no, he says no. But you absolutely make him, you have to pursue this guy. And my only hope for him to even consider it is, we have a handful of talent. Offensive line's not bad. We got a receiver. We may have a tight end. Is there enough here where he looks at the situation and says, with the draft and the money, maybe I can be the guy who takes this dog shit franchise to a Super Bowl. Okay. Maybe I can be the guy on the Mount Rushmore with Joe Namath. I'm not saying that's even a possibility, but you absolutely have to do everything you can to find out if it's a possibility. And if that hurts AG's feelings, or if that means, that you got egg on your face and you kind of, like you said, there's no question, if you go after him, people are going to find out.
Of course. Yeah. I would assume so. Yeah.
I wouldn't even hide it. All right. Now, if that means we got to move on from AG, all I can say is there are other options, and it can't get any worse. It just can't get any worse.
I guess that's true. That was so awful in year one, I guess.
And again, this isn't about, AG sucks and fire him. A lot of great coaches have started off bad. And we talked about this at great length. There's no good reason, in my opinion, to have a lot of confidence in the guy. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the worst coach ever. I don't know what he is, and there's a lot of guys who took a while, and it was a bad situation. And I think the tank started by like week 10. So I'm throwing this year out as far as judgment on AG out the window.
Fair.
What I'm looking at is, once every so many years, you really have an opportunity to rebuild your team do it quickly. Look at, I hate to say it, look at the New England example. Now, of course, they had the quarterback. Well, maybe we can get the quarterback, and there's still plenty of options there. All I was saying before he got fired was if a guy like this becomes available, you have to take that shot. You just have to.
I will say the thing that's crazy to me, I did an overall NFL show that I did on Monday, and I said, I just don't think there's any chance they fire him because every team and their mother would have him at number one on the list. How would he not be traded? Look at the history of coaches being traded. Most of the value, John Gruden, Bill Belichick, Herm Edwards was a unique example where it wasn't that much, but Sean Payton, go through these lists, and those are first-round picks and things. And I imagine the Ravens would have been able to get a nice haul, if not a first-round pick, a very nice haul for picks. So the fact that he is just straight, there is no picks required, is tantalizing because, that can be, the Jets, one of their great attractiveness items is the fact they have all these picks. So if you would have had to use said picks to try to get Harbaugh, that sort of lessens the argument because you need to use them to get him. But in this case of not having to use them is intriguing. So Philium, bring me into the Philium mind. Mm-hmm. When you get, let me make sure I give you the proper setting here so you can do this properly. You're just chilling at home. You're just having a nice old time. Then all of a sudden, John Harbaugh fired. The first thoughts in Philium, the facial expressions. What occurred, Philium?
All right. Well, again, I anticipated that this could happen, so I'm not jumping off the couch. What I'm doing is going, all right, get his agent on the phone, make it clear that he has carte blanche. And if John Harbaugh, who we all know is going to have 7 choices as head coach, he could take a year off. We don't know what's going to be. Sure. There's only one thing I want to know. You want to talk. Mm-hmm. If he wants to talk, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to offer him whatever he wants. He says, slide the paper across. I agree with you. Money is certainly always, people say, oh, money's not necessarily a big deal. It's always a big deal. Okay. Sure. Even if it's just about being the highest paid coach, right, for bragging rights, whatever it is.
Of course.
Money's not the issue here. The question is John Harbaugh at all interested in being the Jets head coach? And I'm not in fantasy land here. He probably doesn't. But if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
That's true.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So that's all I said yesterday morning. That's what I'm saying today. And if that hurts AG's feelings, oh well.
The delivery on that was excellent. I would tell you my reaction when I saw Harbaugh. I went, "Holy shit!" And then my fiance went, "What?" She was about to cook dinner, and I said, "I'm about to wrap up here at the computer." What, the name of everything that's holy? I'm like, honey, hold on a second. We got to wait for dinner. And now here's the other news, right? To your point, right? Harbaugh could take a year off. He could go into media. People have speculated on. According to the latest NFL Insider report, this came out last night from Albert Breer. He spoke with Harbaugh or someone around Harbaugh. Harbaugh 100% intends to coach this season. So apparently no Sean Payton, which happened with him, sabbatical. Harbaugh is ready to dive immediately back in, which should surprise many. I mean, he was doing this for 18 years. Coaches, it takes a certain psycho to be a coach and everything that entails. So it seems like from that perspective, it's not whether or not he will coach. It's just where he will coach. So that's what's up for debate here, I suppose.
And one more thing, you said, why wouldn't they have traded him for picks? And what actually happened there? Did they choose the players? Did he lose the locker room? Whatever. Again, there's been a lot of great head coaches who had great success for a period of time. And it just came to an end for whatever reason. Okay. So, that whatever the reason is why, he was fired, it doesn't matter to me. There's a track record there that we haven't, I don't know if we've ever had a coach of his caliber. So, that for me, it's just, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, not just for Harbaugh, but because of where we sit as an organization, because we have a few pieces and lots of money and lots of draft capital, and we got to trust this to the right people. That's been my concern from the get. What did I say yesterday, Paul? I just don't have that confidence in Aaron Glenn. I hope I'm wrong, okay? If none of this comes to fruition and Aaron Glenn's the coach, trust me, I'm not a bandwagon, well, I guess I got to go with this guy. I'm a Jets fan. Whoever the freaking coach is, I'm going to be behind him. I'm going to support him. I'm going to hope for the best. But can I tell you right now that I have great confidence in Aaron Glenn? No, I don't. And I was one of his biggest, supporters last year. And I'm not jumping off the train either. Do I have great confidence that this is the guy that I want at the helm right now? If he is the guy, okay. But if there's somebody I think is a better choice, I mean, general managers get fired, companies fire CEOs, right? It happens.
Mm-hmm. I would just add this, not that you need my validation or whatever I'm about to say for this, but people are totally able to feel however they want to feel. If they want to jump on the train, great. If they want to stay on the train, great. If they want to stay on the train and go, I'm watching you, AG. I'm not sure, but I'm not leaving, but you're going to have to prove it to me, pal. There's nothing wrong with that for your take or anyone else's take. Again, you just fucking went 3-14 for God's sake. So, when people ask me, because that question constantly gets asked, well, what the hell does AG do well? Well, obviously not much. They just went 3-14. But you know what? If they're sticking with this guy, it seems like by all accounts they are, especially even with the Harbaugh stuff. We'll see what happens. But hey, Philium, you have been heard. You're hard. You put it out into the universe. You willed it into existence. We talked about manifestation yesterday, and somehow you split these two up. This happy marriage for 18 years came to an ugly divorce, and now he's available. So, Philium, maybe there's a chance.
Yeah, second marriages are often better than firsts.
So we'll see. Hey, and that first one went pretty well with the Super Bowl and a lot of winning seasons. So hey, that's great news for Harbaugh. Good prognostication there moving forward.
All right, thank you, Paul.
There he is, Philium, joining us here on the show. Passionate and again, voice of reason. That was a terrific call. That was funny. Shout out. Yes, Philium was on it. All the respect to Philium. He was on it yesterday talking about it. For sure. All right, back to the phone lines here. Johnny Boy is up next. Johnny?
Hey, BG, what's going on, brother?
Sir, were you someone who was whispering some Harbaugh pleasantries as well?
I did, man. I mean, bro, they gotta try at least, right? Now, I'm on the same boat with Phil. Like, I'm not here saying fire Aaron Glenn, get rid of Aaron Glenn, and that's it. Like, no, like, bro, it's John Harbaugh. You would want to do that. And then when people say, well, why would anybody want to come over here? Well, why wouldn't they? Right? Okay. Yo, if you can make this organization a winning organization, aka look at Rex Ryan that we're still talking about, Bill Parcells that we're still talking about, and how long ago were these guys coaching this team? Nobody talks about Rex Ryan's when he went over there to the Bills and it was a complete crap show. Definitely itself, not. Right? They talk about him when he was with the Jets and look what he did with the Jets, blah, blah, blah. You imagine you win the Super Bowl with this squad, and why would you not, hope that it's actually one of our guys that put on the green and white, that was drafted by the green and white to potentially do that? Get yourself a Jim Leonard, another guy that wore the green and white, that it meant something for him. Now, I'm not trying to say that I'm delusional and all that. AG has a lot to prove. But I can't go ahead and say just fire him off the rip, just because everybody had an expectation of us doing something this year, of going into a playoff or whatever. Bro, my expectation was to have a winning season and it didn't happen. Yeah. He came into a complete crap show of a team where we overhyped the talent that we had here. We thought that the talent that was here was so good and everything, but didn't fit the scheme. Bro, when Wilkes was hired, there was a lot of people that were hyped about Wilkes.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, we got a vet guy that's coming inside here. He's been a head coach before, and that would be able to go and help out Aaron Glenn, blah, blah, blah. But now you saw what happened. He sucked. And it's like, yo, AG got that guy and all that. People don't forget that. The Justin Fields conversation. Bro, it was a lot of people that were hyped about Justin Fields, including myself. But I was wrong. The dude sucked. And he put this damn organization back another year. itself. Am I secure on Tanner? No, I'm not. You know, and I've been saying it for a while about Tanner. I don't believe in the guy because I haven't seen anything. Brees Hall, 59. All you had to average was 59 yards to get 1,000 yards. I'm not impressed by that. I know a lot of individuals are, but I wasn't, so I just don't know, man. Dude, John Harbaugh's out there. It's a conversation to be talked about. And it's just like what Phil said. Give him a quick call and say, are you interested? And if he says no, then all right, man, I appreciate you taking the call. Hang up and that's it, and it's over with. And you can if I'm being honest with you, I would say that he goes either to the Giants or the Raiders.
Yeah, my gut says Giants right now, but I could see Raiders too with Tom Brady and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. Why would you not want to play your brother twice a year and potentially,
oh wow, I didn't think about that. Yeah,
and be able to whoop his ass and have this thing known as the Harbaugh Bowl every single year,
twice a year,
right? Like it makes sense on a business aspect of it to make money. I mean, the Harbaughs are loved, right? They're a beloved,
of course,
family.
Yeah.
So why would you not want to do that? I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't know, man, dude. It's just such in the air. Like, what if they start doing all these crazy moves in free agency, right? And they start getting all these things. Because right now, the narrative is nobody's going to want to come over here because you got a guy in Todd McShay that went on his stuff and said, oh, ain't nobody going to want to come over here. There's nobody going to want to do anything over here. But they don't know. That's the other thing, man. That's the other thing. We have no idea what this organization knows. And we haven't had that in a very long time. Everything used to get leaked out from this team, and we would know about it, and everybody be like, oh man, there's a rat inside there, you got to get rid of it and all of that. He had to do all of that too, and he's been doing that. So I don't know, man. Like it's the dude has a lot to prove this year. He does. And you got to give it a time, man. Rome wasn't built just in one day, man. Like, and what has AG done? He's 3 and whatever.
14, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a good season. It was bad.
Yeah.
So who are you going to replace him with? Because everybody's saying that no coach wants to come over here. But bro, you win over here, dude. Are you not put up there with like one of the best coaches to ever do it? Like, would you think that that's something that could be talked about with the Bill Belichick's, with the Lombardis and all that? Be like, but he won a championship with the New York Jets. That's been a shit show for how many years?
That's true. I'll throw a random thing out here. This is just on the defensive coordinator search because that's one thing it looks like, unless the Jets get rid of Glenn for Harbaugh, which that seems unlikely. But if that somehow happened, that'd be a different conversation. But in the latest with the DC search, I was just listening to Flight Plan, the Zach Rosenblatt, Tim McMaster podcast. There's apparently, quote unquote, mutual interest between Wink Martindale and the Jets for the DC job. He's currently the Michigan defensive coordinator. Used to be the Giants defensive coordinator back in 2023. So it's a couple years ago. But at that point, they led the league, and either it was interceptions or fumbles or both. It was one or the other so he created a lot of takeaways, which was exciting because of, all the crap we just had with our season. That part's intriguing. So apparently there is mutual interest there between those two.
BG, and let me say that with Wink, right?
Sure.
There was reports coming out that, people are not going to like him and all that because he's too tough on his players, and he'll go up to a player and say, you suck. Bro, is that for real? Like, are cats really that sensitive that if you go to a dude and say, bro, you suck, I would want my coach to do that. Tell this cat that he's straight hot garbage and you need to do better. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's bonkers to me, man. So I hope the Wink conversation is a real stuff. I mean, the dude blitzes like crazy.
That's true.
He takes chances.
Aggressive as hell. Yeah.
Being aggressive like that is something that I could fall on, man. So it's intriguing. And then the last thing.
Yes, sir.
Easy.
Yeah.
Why would Kingsbury make a lateral move to a team that's 3-14 after.
Well, real quick, if people didn't see it, Kingsbury got fired yesterday by the Commanders, so he's a free agent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a mutual.
Well, like every girlfriend I've ever broken up with was mutual. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's mutual. Sure. Whatever we want to put in the newspaper, I guess.
And he wants to try with 6 opening head coaching positions on there to become a head coach again.
That's what he should try again. I maybe Cliff gets a head coaching job in this cycle. He probably does. So, but no, I just wanted to provide context for that. Not that I'm the defender of easy ideas normally, but yeah, that's just for context.
So I'm just saying, like, do you think that he would make a lateral move to go ahead and do this? I mean, now
he could be an OC. I could totally, if he misses out on the head coaching, which is possible. He hasn't been a head coach in a couple of years with the Cardinals. So I don't view it, you're saying lateral, as if he's choosing to go from this to that, mutual, fired, whatever. He's no longer the Commanders guy. So yes, could I see him as an offense coordinator in the league? Yes. People have brought up the Eagles with one of their guys who's about to go somewhere that he could go to the Eagles. There's been all kinds of suggestions. So sure, I could see him as an OC, but if I'm Cliff, I'm probably trying to be an HC that's better money and everything else. So that's what I would try to do. But I could see, if you told me, hey, Paul, fast forward a month from now, Cliff Kingsbury, an offense coordinator, I'd be like, all right. I wouldn't be shell-shocked by that, no.
And it goes right back to the conversation that we were just having a moment ago about Rex Ryan. Yep. And the easy's like Rex Ryan, DC. That's what I mean, bro. Like,
nice.
Yo, you win with the Jets, it's always going to be talked about consistently. So John Harbaugh, and that's one last thing. My bad, man. John Harbaugh, if he was, which I don't think that's going to happen. If I'm being honest with you, BG, I think dude probably takes a year off, sees what a lot of these teams are, takes some time for himself and his family, right? I mean, dude's still going to get money.
Yeah.
And they kind of go from there and see what these teams do this year with all that. The Jets still next year are very, very interesting of a team with all of the draft capital that they have. So I don't know, man. Like, am I going crazy for thinking that maybe John is going to take some time off and potentially not even go anywhere just to kind of refocus himself back up and not just jump back into the saddle that quickly? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. But BG, John Harbaugh is that girl that the Teflon Don was talking about yesterday, though. I tell you that much. BG, appreciate you. Everybody, appreciate you guys, man. It's still JETS, Jets, right?
There you go from Johnny Boy. YMCA. Hey. JETS, Jets. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Amen. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Let's go. By the way, everybody, we are 2 subscribers away from 8,280, so let's keep that train rolling here on the program. By the way, I haven't shown this yet, so let me throw it up here on the big screen. Here's our raffle prize. If you're new to the channel, like, what the hell? What raffle? This, that, or the other? We do raffles on this channel every single month, and we've got a massive raffle prize pack for you guys this month. Let's throw it up here on the big board so you guys can see it. All you have to do is spend $3 on the channel to be eligible. We've got a New York Jets mint flip coin from this season. It comes with a certificate of authenticity from the National Football League, brand new Jets polo, brand new Jets rivalry hat, our Boy Green Woody tailgate package, and all the items in our Boy Green merch shop, which is a Boy Green Coffee Club mug and a brand new Boy Green Coffee Club t-shirt. To win all that crap, all you have to do is spend $3 on the channel to have a raffle ticket. We'll be giving that away on February 1st. So super stickers, super chats, memberships, and make them rain from the high heavens. If you have any questions, you can spin them into a super chat. Philia, by the way, and several others in the chat are saying it was good to see Johnny Boy healthy, moving around. So God bless America. It's great to see Johnny Boy out there in our universe. So big ups to Johnny Boy. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Plenty of people want to get involved here on the program. Up next is Frankie.
First of all, Johnny, you look great. So that's awesome. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
So I want to change my vote on that Harbaugh Glenn
Okay.
thing because
All right, lay it on me.
you gave me some information that I didn't have when I first voted. I
Okay.
joined the show a little bit late, but
Mm-hmm.
I was under the impression that Harbaugh would definitely take a year off,
Mm-hmm.
just chill out, evaluate, maybe
Mm-hmm.
take a nice long vacation, maybe do a little bit of media. That's about it, right?
Sure.
But
Mm-hmm.
I just heard you or somebody say that he definitely wants to coach next year.
Yep. Albert
Okay.
Breer. Let me see if I can pull it up quick. But the generic thing of what he said, without me doing a direct quote here, is that Harbaugh is coaching in 2026. That is
Okay.
that is
So
happening.
if that's the case, then Woody has to make the phone call. And I'm not saying it's going to happen that he'd come here, but the phone call has to be made.
Yes, here it is. So here's the direct quote. This is from Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated. Quote, ex-Ravens coach John Harbaugh wants to coach in 2026, according to sources. He'll instantly be the top candidate for a number of coaching openings. So he wants to coach in 2026 per Albert Breer, NFL Insider.
Right. So again, I would switch my vote and say,
Ooh,
I'm not going to fire Glenn, but I am
Oh,
making
so you're
that
going to try to
phone.
back channel it and see if it's possible.
I'm making a phone call, and I don't know who
Okay.
makes that phone call. Is it Woody or Muji? Because Muji
That's a
does
good
it.
point.
Then
Right. Yeah, I
who's
don't know.
who's like? Do you know how the hierarchy works? Does Glenn report to Muji, or they both report to Woody, or how's that work? Do you
So
know?
yeah, Glenn is basically the one who wears the pants. So normally, right, to all your point, you could either have a couple of different structures. GM, head coach both report to owner, or head coach reports to GM and GM reports to owner. In our particular structure, while I don't know if anything's official like on their website, it is Woody, Aaron Glenn, Muji. Muji
Okay.
works basically for Glenn.
Okay, so in that case, then Woody has to make that phone call,
Right. I would
and
assume so.
you
Yeah.
have to at least ask and say, "Are you interested?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at all interested? What would it take?
Mm-hmm.
And if I think it was Phil who said it, if it gets out and Glenn's offended, tough shit. Get a pair of balls. Okay, I really don't care. All right, I no, I don't. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Right.
it's kind of like let's be grown ups here. Okay,
Sure.
this is
Right.
this is a coach that has been in the league, head coach for 18 years, I believe, 16 years,
18
whatever it
years.
was.
18. Yeah, he
18
just
years,
wrapped up
won a Super
18th year.
Bowl,
Yep.
consistently been good.
Yep.
And you have to make that phone call. Just like every other team, I would think
Sure.
that any other team that has a coach on the fence or obviously has fired their coach is going to make that phone call. If I'm Miami, I'm making that phone call. And I
Yeah.
really don't care who's offended. I'm the owner, and I want to put seats in. I want to put people in the seats, and I want to win games, and I want to make this franchise great. And I think that you have to make that phone call. So,
Yeah, and I would also say that even if so, you said like obviously people that have vacancies obviously are
yeah,
making that
that's
call.
the obvious. Yeah,
You know, people that are like, I'm not so sure about my coach are probably
yeah,
making that call. And I would say even if I was a team that I felt pretty secure about coach, I'm like, well, let me look in the mirror for a second. This is
yeah.
Harbaugh. So I would even think about it if I had an established great situation. I thought I would at least consider it and think about it because this feels like a very rare opportunity, especially straight up street free agency for a coach of this magnitude. That's very rare.
Right. So I would definitely do it. The second thing I want to just talk about real fast
Yes,
is I
sir.
hear a lot. I see a lot of people in the chat saying, "Oh, you guys are the same people who wanted Brady Cook to play the last 5 games." You're damn right. I wanted Brady Cook to start the last 5 games. Want to know why? Because there were
Yeah.
3 scenarios that could have occurred.
Mhm.
2 of which are good. 1 was bad. Let's go with the bad one first.
Okay.
He plays okay, and they win 3 games, and we got the 10th pick. That's the worst thing
Yeah.
that could have happened.
Yeah.
He plays great. He wins all 5 games, and we have a quarterback.
Okay.
And then the one that actually did occur, he sucked. We lost all 5 games. We got the 2nd pick. So all you morons that said, "Oh, I don't want to start," there's a reason why I wanted Brady Cook to start. I want to know
Yeah.
if we had a quarterback, and if he sucked, I knew we'd lose all 5 games. And
Right.
I'm sorry, I know I want to win just as bad as anybody else. But when we're 3-9, 3-10, season's over. I want to pick. I want to play for the future. And anybody who wants to win those last 5 games and be or win 3 of them and be mediocre, you're in Miami hell. Okay, that's what Miami is. One of my best friends is a Miami Dolphin fan. He is
Ugh.
so aggravated with Tua. He's so aggravated with the entire organization. They are in mediocrity hell, and they're never going to get better because when you're
Yeah.
in that, look at New England. They sucked for a couple of years, and now they won a division.
Yeah.
So all you guys stop with, oh, you're the same people who wanted Cook. There's a reason why I wanted Cook. There's a method to my fucking madness, guys. Okay? Believe me. All right? I'm glad we lost the last fucking 5 games. And anybody who wanted us to win the last 3 out of 4 or whatever, you're absolutely fucking insane. Because we're gonna be in mediocre hell. At least now we got a shot.
Oh my god. Yeah, because that's the one thing that Chef brought it up earlier on one of the first calls, like, oh boy, that was AG's guy, Cook, and people wanted Cook. And I'm like, AG apparently kept saying, we got a plan for Brady. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah,
The tank plan.
The plan was to throw him out there, see if he's any good. If he's good, hey, we got ourselves a quarterback. If he sucks, we lose all 5 games. We're gonna get a top 3 pick.
Right. To your point, it was that multi-pronged, mostly win-win scenario. Wow.
Exactly.
I get all the credit for discovering Brady. Cook, who would have fucking thought? Look, I found our basically Tom Brady. He totally tanks and sucks. All right, great pick. In the middle, mediocre, where we're winning games in bizarre, obtuse ways where it's not really his fault, and we're like, we don't feel good about this at all. But we scrapped a couple wins together. So 2 of the 3 were.
It happened. It was perfect. The scenario worked out perfect for us. So
that's funny.
That's all I wanted to say. Anyway, the phone call's got to be made. So let's see what happens. It'll be interesting.
There we go, Frankie. Thanks, pal, and thank you for making this phone call. There you go. We got 500 plus people in the room. Like the video here on YouTube. God, you guys are hilarious. These have been some great calls so far. All right, let's go up next. Hey, look it. We got Chitty Bang back on the program. It's been a hot second.
What's up, man? What's up, man? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, like with all this coaching hoopla going on, man.
Yeah.
But I'm a big proponent of, and this is me. Everybody can think whatever they want to think,
Sure,
and
of course.
I respect it.
Mhm.
But I'm a big proponent of. I don't like the calling for people job culture in the NFL. Like I hate it, honestly, especially for coaches who have only had 1 year. You know, I truly believe that that just like quarterbacks can be set up to fail, I think coaches can as well. You know, I think when Bougie and Glenn came in here, they came into a mess. We had Devontae and A-Rod. They had to figure all that out. They had to get rid of half of the staff, not just the coaching staff, like the higher ups in the front office. You know, like a lot of change happened in the Jets over the past year. Then they had to deal with a team that was built for an entirely different regime, and Salah and Joe Douglas picks. And not that the team was barren of complete talent, but it wasn't what we thought. We clearly need linebackers desperately. We have no safety. We haven't had safeties in years since Marcus May. So it was going to be an uphill battle, and we all knew that going. At least most of us did.
Yeah, right.
About 6. We thought 6 wins maybe, but ended up being what it was, 3 wins. And I think with context, it's a situation that by the trade deadline they knew, okay, we're probably going to tank. I think that's what happened. They got rid of Sauce, they got rid of Quinnen, 2 guys who are key pieces to the defense. Let's be real. That defense isn't fun. The impact Quinnen had on the defensive line impacts the Will McDonald's and Jermaine Johnsons, and and then you got Sauce, who people didn't want to throw to. So it changed the defense completely. And I think when you put all the context together, I think that right now fans are angry and want a scapegoat. They want to fire the coach because they want to see something change. But I think that's the problem with the Jets. I think we are very reactive as a fan base, as an organization sometimes, as a New York City, just the media. So I think that I appreciate and I like that Woody's just going to stay the course, and Glenn and Muji are still going to be here and being able to put their plan in place. They got interviewed, they got chosen. Aaron Glenn is a true, Jet. Obviously, the first year didn't go well. Give him a fair shot to see what he can do going forward with the plan they have in place, and get their guys in the room and build something. So that's just the way I look at it, and I get it. Harbaugh, Super Bowl 13 years ago. I'm not a big proponent off of saying just because you won a Super Bowl that any team should take you. I'm not a big McCarthy guy. I like Harbaugh, but I don't know what he would do here in the Jets. right now, like what like scheme would he be running and all that stuff. So I'm not sure if the game has passed him by, honestly. I know he's had like success, but a lot of it had to do with the talent he had. Even that Super Bowl, he had a lot of success with that defense, and since the Peaks has left, he hasn't been able to, take it to the Super Bowl again, even with Lamar Jackson. So
Good point.
I am questionable about just saying let's put all our chips on Harbaugh, just like we do with Aaron Rodgers. Put all our chips on Aaron Rodgers, get everything that we wanted for him, and now we're suffering the consequences. We're paying the consequences of putting all that stuff around Aaron Rodgers, and we got to eat our shit for a good 2 years. And that's just the reality of it as a Jet fan. Like, if you're a casual Jet fan, check back into 2027 after we get those 3 picks.
Yeah.
Just take a break, But if you're like a diehard like us, you have to sit here and pragmatically look at the situation, and we should know, hey man, they were tanking this year. Let's not look at it as you want them to compete in the last 5 games at the same time you're happy we got the second overall pick. You can't have both. So they had a plan, they executed it. Now they got a high pick and the first pick in the second round, which is awesome because I think that's
great. Huge
for it's like basically like another first round pick. Some people would say. So yeah, man, like let these men do what they got to do. Now, if next year it's another 3-win, 4-win season or something like that, then yeah, I think there's a fair conversation to have of like, all right, you guys had a whole offseason to get what you wanted in place. You guys had cap room, you had draft picks. Then what you want to do? Maybe by then Mike Tomlin's available. You never know what could happen. But yeah, I'm not it with the whole like just calling for the job just because this year didn't go the way you wanted it to.
Yeah, and I would say this is something no one talks about for those who don't know Harbaugh's story, right? They just sort of remember him as this 18-year head coach for the Ravens. He was a special teams guy before, and we think we got our special teams on lock with Banjo. So this guy has, with all due respect, no expertise on offense or defense. That means he needs strong coordinators to support what he brings to the table. Because, right, most of the time you bring in a head coach, you're like, oh, sweet, Sean McVay, this offensive wizard. He's got that on lock, and that's the intrigue of bringing him in. In Harbaugh's case, while he's supposed to be the CEO, everything that's supposed to do it all, he was just accused from the Ravens of losing the locker room, and over half of the locker room and player exit interviews, according to Rappaport, told owner, I don't know if I even want to play for this guy anymore. Like, we're brushing that aside, saying, shit happens. What are you going to do? I don't know. That seems like a massive red flag we're all just overlooking because, Harbaugh, Super Bowl.
We're the Jets, so we always are chasing
the
full thing, and we're always trying to chase, what Aaron Rodgers is free at, age 40, 41. Let's take him. Let's figure out what we're trying to be in our identity as a Jet organization with some. I want younger talent. I want younger coaches. I want new schemes. I want new offenses, new defenses, and that's why I'm not too opposed to Raheem Morris because his defensive schemes are very modern day. And honestly, they loved him in Atlanta. It seemed like the players didn't want him to leave. But it's just, this is just we're so reactive, as a fan base. And in New York, I feel like the media cycle goes so quickly and we have so much news being pumped out, and it's so it's all meant to get clicks. It's all meant to, get money, and it's how the industry works. But I genuinely think the fans get riled up in it way too much to the point where they get genuinely angry, upset, and are ranting if they don't get what they want. And I think it goes too far,
Yeah, and I would just add this as well, that I think there is a obvious bloodlust among the fan base right now. They want someone to pay for the sins of what this 3-14 season was, and the combination of the allure of the grass is greener with Harbaugh across the street, and it's this Venn diagram that's kissing right here, and that's what everyone's saying. But I think the cooler and calmer heads prevail here, which is unique for Woody, for what everyone accuses him of, is that Woody's saying no. So he said it before this Harbaugh stuff. I'm good. AG's my guy, unwavering. He's my guy. Harbaugh comes out, and I don't know who Hughes and Zach Rosenblatt spoke to that said no. The Jets are committed to AG and Muji. They're not doing shit. I don't know who their sources were, and we'll hear it again. They do their Jets Final Drive show in the early afternoon. I'm fascinated to hear all kinds of nuggets and things they have. But to me, Woody. I know the Jets, this is perhaps the unpleasant truth that Jet fans don't want to hear, but to hear that Woody is so convicted with this current group, for whatever reason you believe he is, to me is a refreshing feeling that he is committed to this group. He is not just letting one season, while as bad as it was, override the message, say, you know what? I don't give a shit. This season was so terrible. I'm firing everybody. He is sticking to the plan. Now let's see what this plan is. 5 first-round picks, $300 million in cap space over the next 2 years. Like, I'm intrigued to see what they decide to do, even if people in the audience, aren't saying that.
Absolutely. And let's say let's say like the previous caller said, we have Woody call John Harbaugh, and let's say he's like, yeah, I'll take an interview. Then we're behind the scenes interviewing John Harbaugh, and then he gets goes to Cleveland or to the Raiders or something. What does that cause for our organization? All that becomes is a media story again. Oh, they behind the scenes, we're trying to get John Harbaugh, and it causes division. And we're going through the same Jet cycle of, people chirping, and people, having drama. And we didn't really want, Aaron Glenn anyway. We wanted John Harbaugh. It just causes more friction and division within the Jets organization. And I think that's what we're trying to get away from, is the drama.
And that's what I think takes AG's chances, right? So, okay, some people don't think AG is going to be a good coach at all. Some people are just residing on the fact they didn't like the AG hire from the get-go. He's a defensive guy and he's a first-year guy. A lot of people didn't love that hire. So what this season was just reinstilling the fact that they hate AG, and now they're willing to dump him. But if you try to backdoor this Harbaugh thing, you sabotage any success that AG maybe potentially could have bouncing back from the 3-14 year. If that ever comes out, that again, because if you call Harbaugh, what are you going to tell Harbaugh? Hey, are you interested? Yes. Well, let's figure it out right now. I'm sure what the Jets would want to say. And then Harbaugh's like, no, I want to evaluate all my options. And you're the Jets, you're hanging in the wind however long this cycle runs. While AG's coming up with some fugazi plan that you're not going to roll with because you're going to fire it. Like, man, I just think there's a lot of disaster energy here. And the Jets are better just going on their own train.
And let Connor Hughes get note of that behind the scenes. He's gonna run with that and tell it, so it's gonna be a mess. But that's just how I look at it. And I think people need to be patient and wait. And if things go bad next year, then fair game. You will see what the options are, but give it some time, and let them get a quarterback. They were hamstrung with Justin Fields the entire year. Let's be real. They were hamstrung with the players from the last regime, and then they let go of their two of their biggest stars. So we are really, really full rebuild mode now. So let's see what they can do.
Well, Chitty, appreciate the call, brother. They aren't every day, but when they hit, I appreciate the Chitty call.
Most definitely, man. It's been a pleasure. I'm always in the chat. I'm always watching though.
I appreciate you.
Man. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, pal. There you go. Very well, with we have people callers at EIL. We have callers that whisper, and we have Chitty. Just right there. There's Chitty. Very nice. All right, back to the phone lines. Nate the Great's here with us.
What's happening, Paul? How are you?
Hey, I'm well. How are you doing, pal? What's going on?
Good. Great show last 2 days.
Scenery here. Yeah, that was nice too.
In my quote unquote Manhattan backyard.
Yeah.
Without any greenery.
Sure.
Yeah, I almost want to hang up after Chitty. He did. That was a great call. He covered a lot of the bases. Remained pretty calm. Didn't call anyone a moron or feel like we're in this culture where everyone's just like, I was right. Do you remember? I was right. And these people are morons. I was like, okay, like if everyone was so fucking smart, we wouldn't be in BG's chat. No offense. Yeah. I would make the 34th team if I was this smart and go call Woody and tell him I got a recommendation for him. Jesus Christ. So we all really don't know. I was listening to Chef's call. That's what made me prompt and he was talking about the Knicks and we brought this coach in and blah 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 blah. And I was like, what, the Knicks are a great comparison, Chef. Most Jets fans are Knicks fans. Anyone in New York, the Knicks fans.
I would assume so. Yeah.
The Knicks were the Jets. Everybody's calling for the owner's head. Jake's made this point a million times. Like, James Dolan's the worst owner in sports, until they started winning. Or Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni is one of the best coaches in basketball history, not NBA history, but basketball history. Knicks got Mike D'Antoni. You know who their point guard was? It was Chris Duhon. That was the big acquisition. He went and got Chris Duhon.
Okay.
Granted, it was a Justin Field kind of parallel. He chose Chris Duhon over fucking Marty Collins. That was his backup. I don't know if anyone remembers Marty Collins.
Yeah.
But those are his two guards at the time. They won like 29, 30 games. I think they got worse in their second year.
Mm-hmm.
My point is, it was more due to the roster than Mike D'Antoni. He didn't have a lot to do with David Lee and Marty Collins and Al Harrington. There's Knicks fans remember that those are rough times. You weren't really ever going to win with that roster. Granted, the Knicks knew they had the coach in place, and he had a history, which AG doesn't. I'm not saying he does. I'm not comparing the two, but It wasn't until they got Carmelo Anthony where they started winning. You get a big time game changer, you start winning. I mean, granted, they didn't win, but
yeah, right.
and even for 50 years, like my dad's a big Knicks fan. It's always, oh, Clyde, we need a point guard. Next, need a point guard. Next, need a point guard. Blah 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 blah. And well, they stumbled on Jalen Brunson, and now all is well in the world. Now, fucking the owner Dolan is handing out basketball to children, and was dressed like it's literally that's people. He would never step out of his car years ago because fans wanted him killed because they were losing, and fans are emotional wrecks for the most part. So I'm yeah, unfortunately this is our coach next year, and I'm looking forward to the top 40 picks we have. I'm looking to the DC candidates, and dude, I remember Robert Saleh. He was our last coach, and he had the most disgusting defense I've ever seen year one. Granted, terrible players as well, lots of Jazeer Taylors and 53s and number 39 and all the people we couldn't name out there. Let's see if it can turn around year two. Bottom line, and yeah, that's the position we're in. We really can't change anything else. We can tout all we want and be depressed and say we're going to be 0-17, but let's start the season 1-0 next year, and let's try to build a roster. But everyone covered the points, and I know you've had a pretty long show, but good job the last 2 days. I appreciate even the Todd McShay research. I didn't know all the history. I was like, why the fuck does this guy hate us? Because he came off like a bitter ex.
Right.
And he was very clear to be like, I don't have any sources, and I'm not saying any agent contacted me. I'm just saying if I was the Jets or if I was Dante Moore, I would talk to my agent. Like, yeah, totally. The new age media of just like, let's just run with this, and everybody clips it up and be like, Todd McShay. Right. Well, he just said, I don't like the Jets, and I just want to know why. So, well done.
There you go. Appreciate it. Thank you, Nate the Great, baby. There he is, Nate the Great, joining us here on the phone line. So 500 plus people in the room. Let's keep this train rolling, baby. A lot of people want to jump in. Appreciate that. Let's go. Up next, we've got Neil Sr.
What's up, Paul? Happy New Year.
Oh, wow. You're somewhere pretty. That's for sure. Nice.
Yeah, down Palm Beach. I got a place down here for a couple of weeks to get out of the cold.
Oh, very nice. Hey, hopefully that works out for you.
Nice. Oh, it's working out just fine. Not as good as not as good as what we're looking at. Look.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, these got the last couple of callers. Yeah. It's not about giving somebody a chance and all this other stuff, okay?
Okay.
You got to look at the facts here. The fact is very simple.
Okay.
AG made our team worse, not better. Could we agree with that?
I mean, the record says so, yeah.
No, forget about the record, Paul.
Oh, okay.
Is there anybody on the defense? We had 8 of the 11 starters returning on defense, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And all the way across the board, every single defensive player that was here during Salah's regime regressed dramatically. Not just a little bit, but dramatically. Sherwood was garbage, and we signed him to a contract because he was good the last 3 years before or 2 years before. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay. What about Michael Carter III, who was trash all year before we traded him?
Accurate.
And the fact that we were forget about the fact what the last caller made about how we moved on from our two really studly defensive players. Mm-hmm. We were 0-7 while they were here. While we were not tanking, we sucked. Did anybody watch the games? I mean, we were horrendous the first 7 games of the season.
Did we have a couple one-score losses in there?
A couple of one-score losses, but we got cremated. We lost by 23 points to our division in every single game, Paul.
Yeah, not ideal.
Come on. That's our division. That's where you're supposed to be competitive. Yeah. I watched this team with horrible coaches and horrible rosters, but we still won a game against our division. We used to have our Miami Super Bowl when we had 2 or 3 wins. And we won games like that. We had not a single game that the only teams we won was a result of special teams. We had 2 special teams returns to beat Cleveland. Otherwise, we're really a 1-win team, okay? The reality is this team not just was bad, but it was atrociously bad. And it was not a result of the roster. It was a result of the coaching. Okay, when Aaron Glenn said, "Ooh, McDonald is looking a lot better," but we're coaching him up. That's why he's a lot better. He was not better this year.
He wasn't. No.
Okay. And the bottom line is, a coach is your CEO. Forget about Harbaugh. If anybody has a thought in their mind that they wouldn't want to replace Aaron Glenn with Harbaugh, I mean, if that's even a question, what planet are we on? Okay, I would take Stefanski. I would take Kingsbury. Look, Stefanski was 2-time coach of the year with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, he has only won 8 games the last 2 years, though. I mean, he stinks.
Again, forget about how many games they win. We're trying to find a coach. A coach is a CEO that overlooks the team. That's their job. Okay. If you cannot win without a coach. Okay. And every coach that made the change this year, many of them are in the playoffs right now because those teams, does Jacksonville have a great roster? Does Jacksonville's roster fantastic? Does it jump off the page? Their defense, Paul, is not too indifferent than it was last year. But now they got what, 23 takeaways on defense or 24 takeaways?
Terrific. Yeah. Terrific.
Yeah. Okay. That's not a roster that was that dramatically different one year to the next. It's about coaching. And our coaching was historically bad. If Glenn was okay, if he showed improvement in the last 5 games, instead of having the biggest point differential in history, if there was some improvement, we got rid of the defensive coordinator. What happened? We got worse.
Yeah.
Our defense was worse.
Yeah.
If Aaron Glenn, who's a defensive-minded coach, could not take control of the defense when we fired the coordinator, at least call plays and show some kind of life, I would be okay with it. The fact that we've just plummeted, and you can't blame the roster. This was not a rebuilding season. Glenn said it himself. He's here to win now. Okay? Saleh, as bad as we could say about Saleh, he coached up the defense, Paul. He coached up players on the defensive side of the ball. Huff, Quincy. Quincy was not a good player when he came here. Saleh made him into a good player. He made Huff into a great player. He coached up guys. At least that's the positive we could have said about Saleh. Despite how bad of a head coach he was, on the defensive side of the ball, we were a good team, were we not?
Yeah.
Weren't we top 5 at one point 2-3 years ago?
Yes, outside of year 1, Saleh was top 5 in most of the categories. That's correct.
Okay, and it's the same. Well, if the squad was not too indifferent when he left than what we have right now or what we started the year with. We regressed. So, and not only that, the defense, to have a defensive back be your head coach and have 0 interceptions the entire season?
That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate. It's unfathomable. If you were to bet $20 on that every single week, you'd be a millionaire. That's how improbable a 0. That will never, ever, ever happen again.
Probably not. No.
I think there's a team with 23 interceptions that's in the playoffs right now. I forget.
That's impressive. Wow.
Who is it?
I said that's impressive. Let me see. Who is
I think it was either
Chicago. Maybe?
What's that?
I said it wasn't Chicago.
It's either
maybe?
Jacksonville. I don't know. One of the teams has 23 interceptions.
Wow.
We have 0.
Yeah.
Okay. We have 3 takeaways. There's teams
it's the Chicago Bears. The Bears have 23 interceptions.
Okay.
And
now the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Okay. Ben Johnson comes into the Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson is not a defensive coach.
Not that I believe. No.
No, he's not. Okay. And yet he hired a coordinator and he basically turned the team, and the Chicago Bears don't have this tremendous roster. They don't have a defensive roster that was all-stars 2-3 years ago that he came in, and coaching is the most important part of the team. And I'm going to tell you right now, this coaching staff will not turn this team around. It'll take 5 years, because when Aaron Glenn said yesterday in this presser, he learned a lot this year.
Sure.
Oh,
on his
that's
first
nice.
year, learned a lot.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Didn't we all say when we left Salah left and we fired Ulbrich that we should get a coach with experience?
That was
Didn't
a
we all
thought. Yeah.
say that?
Yeah. There
Okay.
were some conversations about that. Yeah.
So this was a fail. This is not a failure. This is a colossal failure. This is not just a failure. There's no indication or anything. We could get Mendoza. Look, and I know Florida was talking about that he wanted Brady Cook in there because he didn't want to win a game in the last 5 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could have put Josh Allen on our offense. We still would have lost the last 5 games because our defense gave up 30 points a game.
Yeah. Slightly off kilter there. Yeah.
I mean, come on. It wouldn't have mattered if we had Josh Allen quarterbacking this team. Yeah. Look, you got to have competent coaches. Kingsbury got it. Cardinals into the playoffs with Kyler Murray.
He did.
Okay. He has some history of success.
Sure.
You have to have a coach in here to steady the ship and get it back with success. Now, I know everybody thinks, well, we're going to go take a whole new coach and it's a whole new regime. Look, every other coach that came in had to deal with the same things any new coach has to. And all of them are having, except Pete Carroll, are having success. All of the guys that coached the new teams this year are doing great. We are not. So guess what? You make a mistake, you move on. I do not have a single iota of confidence that Aaron Glenn has any shot of turning the ship in any direction. If anybody thinks we're going to win more than 4 or 5 games with a rookie quarterback and where we are right now, which is in purgatory, the over-under on the Jets is we're going to be the second or third or first worst team in ESPN rankings and power rankings. We're going to be underdogs in every single game next year by double digits in some cases. We have to make a change, guys. We need the change. And right now, forget about Harbaugh is not coming to the Jets.
Probably.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, do you really see if you were John Harbaugh and you had a chance to coach the Giants with Jackson Dart and the defense they have, or the Jets, where would you go?
I would pick the Giants.
Yeah. All right. So forget about him.
Okay.
I'm not trying to win a Super Bowl. I want us to get into the goddamn playoffs and show some pot, right? Yeah. I mean, what has it been since the playoffs last?
15 years.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Another 15 years, I'm going to be 80 years old. Wow. Okay. I do not want to wait 15 more years to get into the playoffs. So let's, the fact that the reason why Woody Johnson is keeping Aaron Glenn is because of the 35% in this poll say we should keep him. Yeah, I don't even understand in my wildest dreams why anybody would want to retain a coach that not just had a bad year, not just regressed, but clearly is not a head coach material. Anybody who gives a shit about hurting his feelings, how much is he signing for? How much does he get if he leaves the Jets? How many millions of dollars?
It's going to be between $40 and $50 million.
Okay. Anybody that feels bad for somebody who had as bad a year as he did, that's going to walk away with $40 million, guys, I really don't feel a goddamn one iota of sympathy for Aaron Glenn. I want any coach that has got experience, that has a track record, is what we need to get this thing cleaned up. Leon Hess, after the Rich Kotite era, which was the second worst year I ever watched, and I watched every game in the Kotite era, this was worse. And he turned around, he got Bill Parcells, and nobody thought Bill Parcells was coming to the Jets, and he did. Okay? So let's get our heads straight. There's a couple of really good coaching candidates out there. And, I guess it's a foregone conclusion. I'm pissing into the wind here because it looks like we're taking him back. I mean, obviously.
It seems that way at this point.
And everybody says, well, if we have a bad year next year, we could go maybe Tomlin will shake free. Well, we got somebody that's shaking free. You got Harbaugh, which is second best to Tomlin. And believe me, if Woody Johnson has a single brain cell in his brain, was definitely on the phone with the team, with the agent saying, what is it going to take to bring him here? I mean, I'm sure he made that phone call, and they probably said, listen, I appreciate it, but we're not interested. We have other opportunities that we're going to take, because Harbaugh is not interested. If it's a difference between 25 million and 30 million, I don't think that's going to sway him to become a Jet, because he has to pay 5 million in tax more anyway if he goes through.
Yeah.
That's not really an incentive for him. But a Kingsbury or a Stefanski, these guys have had a proven track record. I mixed the two up. Which one was the Cardinal coach, Stefanski or Kingsbury? Kingsbury, right?
Kingsbury was the Cardinals, Stefanski Browns.
Okay, so Kingsbury came to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
He got Kyler Murray, and he went to the playoffs with the Cardinals.
That's correct. Yes.
So why don't we take Kingsbury, bring him here, get a good OC. He's an offensive-minded coach.
Yes. Yep.
He's got experience. He has playoff experience with a horrible team with the Cardinals. They were horrible like we were when he got there. Yeah. Let's take him, bring Kyler Murray back, get Malik Willis, bring him in, have a quarterback competition, have him pick some offensive guys. He could be a better quarterback developer than what we have now, which we have nobody. We have a running backs coach that's going to develop a quarterback. And let's roll with something like that. Again, it's not about just changing. It's not about that we're just frustrated and we want to be patient. It's all about the degree of shit that we were this year. It was mind-boggling. If I watch another 6 games of this, I can't do it. I can't. I'm going to live. Believe me. And to address Nate, the Knicks became good because they got Thibodeau and righted the ship, right, Paul? Wasn't that part of this whole redevelopment?
Sure.
The different culture we had? Didn't Thibodeau have a lot to do with that?
I would assume so, yeah.
Right? It wasn't just the fact that we got Bronson and made us a good team. We developed a winning culture by having an experienced coach come in and right the ship. Okay, he didn't take us to now we want to win a championship, and we have a different mindset now. We're not just want to be a playoff team with the Knicks. We want to win a championship. I'm a Knicks fan, but
wait, didn't you guys win the NBA Cup?
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Well, look, like I said, and I'll leave it at this.
Okay.
We have no chance of turning the ship around with the current regime we have. It's historically bad. And all we're doing right now is going into another situation where we're going to get a quarterback. We're going to draft them. We're going to start 1-6. We're not going to see the improvement we think we are. And we're going to end up losing AG. I mean, not losing him, firing him. And then we're going to be in a situation where we have another Sam Darnold and we can't develop and he's going to get frustrated and we're going to let another year go by. Look, guys, not the right answer. Sorry. Have a good day, guys.
There he is, Neil, joining us here on the show, and quite vivid, pissing in the wind. I've unfortunately had that happen to me once or twice, not on purpose, and it's not great. Not great. Your pants get all wet, you piss all over yourself. It's terrible. Anywho, we got 600 people in the room. Let's get one more call on before we wrap this puppy up. 04 Jets fan finishes us off. What's up, pal?
How you doing, BG?
Well, it's been quite a journey the last 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I'm normally the unbridled optimist.
Okay.
I think I've made that clear. I'm usually looking for the best in everything.
Certainly. Yeah.
I honestly, if they fired him, they should have done it already.
Yeah.
Do you make the call to Harbaugh? Yeah. He's got a track record. These reports coming out that he lost the locker room, the exit interviews, is it concerning? Yeah. But again, he's like Neil said, he is proven. We need somebody that's proven. Am I a little stuck on the start of the season? So many close losses, and then we actually looked like a competent team, pseudo competent for that 5-game stretch where we won 3 of 5.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, is it After that 5-game stretch, did the tank order come down from Woody and say, shut it down?
Maybe.
It could have. I mean, we don't know. I mean, Lord knows what goes on in that behind them closed doors.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
But I mean, Woody's already made his point clear. If he's going to make the change, he would have done it already.
I think so, yeah.
So we're going to see him back. I want to say you can't get worse than this.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah, I want to say it, but I can't because you look at the facts, like Neil said. It wasn't good. It was not. I can't pick anything out other than what I said to start the season, and then that 5-game stretch. It's like, the team fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing. Like, and I think they were still falling come the end of the season. Like it wasn't even. They hadn't even hit rock bottom yet.
Yeah, by the way, the current fan voting on the poll is should the Jets immediately fire Aaron Glenn to hire Ravens head coach John Harbaugh? 68% say yes, this is our moment. 32% say no freaking way, that's crazy. Basically, stay with AG.
On a knee-jerk reaction, I am part of that 68%.
There you go. All right.
I mean, like I said, we need somebody to come in. Now, the unbridled optimist in me.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Dan Campbell's first year in Detroit was not good at all. People were calling for his head.
They were, yeah. Especially because he was, AG didn't say bite kneecaps, but a lot of people accuse AG of arrogance that they didn't like. So, like in the same way of the biting kneecaps thing from Campbell, a lot of people said, oh, this guy's an idiot. You got to fire him. And the records was not good. It was in his first season, he was 3-13-1. That was his first season.
So the only thing we missed out on was the obligatory tie.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's the only thing we missed out on from a Dan Campbell record.
That's correct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. I did some research. Bill Parcells' first year head coaching, I want to say he went like 4-12.
Yeah, not
with
good.
the Giants.
Yeah, not good at all.
Now it's a little historical there.
Yeah, I like that.
There's examples throughout NFL history of guys coming in their first time.
Yeah,
and just
by the way, here it was for Bill Parcells, who's also a tie, 3-12-1. So very similar to Campbell.
Sorry.
I don't know what's up with all these ties, but that did happen apparently.
So I mean, if we would have got a tie this year, do we feel better about Glenn?
Apparently.
I mean, it's just. Jay
Lepsetter says Jimmy Johnson went 1-15 in 1989. So there you go. There was another one. Yep.
Yeah, and Jimmy Johnson is unanimously considered one of the greatest head coaches in NFL history. So let's.
Yeah.
I want to say pump the brakes,
mm-hmm.
and we need to calm down and let's see what they can do, because there were signs of life from Muji being able to negotiate the deals that he did this year. I know he reports to Glenn, but Muji was the one negotiating the deals.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me Glenn negotiated those. No, that was Muji.
I would assume so. Yeah, that's him and his capologist, I would imagine.
So I like the Muji thing. I've got an inkling of hope for Engstrand. There were some signs mid-season where he might be able to cook something up with a competent quarterback. There were some signs from Glenn, that 5-game stretch where it looked pseudo-competent.
Mm-hmm.
We need a DC. I did not like the Wilkes hire from the start. I did not want Wilkes. We're talking about the guy out of Michigan.
Yeah, Wink Martindale. According to Zach Rosenblatt, who covers the Jets for The Athletic, he said on his own podcast, that's Flight Plan. He said that I was just catching up on it. I had like a quick 20 or 30. I've not finished the podcast, but I got to that point right before we started. And he said he believes there is mutual interest between Wink Martindale And some people are saying he was already fired by Michigan. I'm still seeing that it's
He
up in
was.
the air.
No,
He was fired.
yes,
Okay, good.
yes.
Okay. New coaching staff, right?
Yeah,
Your boy,
Whittingham brought in his own DC.
Okay, there you
So
go.
he
Perfect.
brought a new guy in. So
So
he's on the market.
So straight up free agent. So
Another name
yeah,
that isn't being talked about.
Yeah, so there you go.
Matt Patricia. I know he's a failed head coach, but he's been a proven DC in the NFL. And look what he just did with my yes.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see him go. I really would, but
he is a New York guy. He did go to Syracuse for a slight period of time.
So it's like he's a proven DC though.
Yeah.
Now, was that Belichick? Because he always did it under Belichick. Now, was it a Belichick thing? So it's a little less proven with him.
Yeah, I would say this is my name. I don't know how likely it is. I wrote an article about it for Heavy, but Jay Lepstetter pointed out Brian Flores' contract in Minnesota has expired.
Ooh.
He is a free agent right now. Now, while his representation, the Vikings, are talking, he is free to talk with any team. Now, Brian Flores is also going to be taking head coaching interviews this offseason.
Yes.
But that's the name. I mean, he has Super Bowl rings on his finger as an assistant, 4 Super Bowl rings. More notably than that, because that's just sort of eye candy, is he has been dominant with the Minnesota Vikings. He's been a mastermind. He can play chess with the greatest offensive minds in the sport, and he's done very well. So I don't know if he would take this job, candidly, but that would be, putting stuff aside, right? There's a lot of interesting names. Jim Schwartz of Cleveland who's going to shake free with Stefanski, but Flores would be probably one of my number one name on the list. He is so intriguing, and that would be an exciting hire for the Jets.
I mean, it's just pump the brakes, pump the hate brakes.
Okay.
And I understand where Neil's coming from. 04 is quite literally the year I started watching NFL football, and in particular the Jets. That's where 04 Jets fan comes from.
No,
this is the worst year I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's been tough.
I'm 21 years deep now, and I know there are veterans of the Jets fandom that are far beyond me.
Sure, yeah.
I've never seen anything worse.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's only up from here.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, we could still get worse, BG. There are 3 wins on our record that could vanish.
That's a good point, I guess. That's a good point.
I mean, I'm with the other fans where it's like, whoever the coach is, I want them to succeed. Whoever it is.
Yeah, right.
I'm the same way with our players.
Yeah, right.
I want them all to succeed. I wish them nothing but the best.
Yeah.
But it's like, when's enough? And it came very close for me to be in on the get him the hell out of here. But I hope you have a great day, BG.
Thanks, brother.
I love coming on the show, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, and enjoy having you on. Thank you to everyone who called in today. Another 2.5 hour show. We've had 3 or 4 shows this week that are 2.5 hours. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. On the way out, please like the video if you may. Again, we're only a handful of subscribers away from 8,280. We're trying to make a chase to 10,000 subscribers. We will be back on live in less than an hour. As a matter of fact, we'll have NFL analyst Dalton Wasserman of Pro Football Focus. We're going to talk about the Harbaugh sweepstakes and the latest and playoffs this weekend. So we'll be talking about Super Wildcard Weekend and so much more. So we'll be gone for like 58 minutes, and then I'm immediately back. So I'm going to grab some quick breakfast in the kitchen, run right back here, and we'll be back here for you. Like I said, we'll have plenty of coverage coming up here with articles for Heavy on Jets. If you want to check those out, feel free to do so. Also, give a quick plug real quick. 1 second here. I have a free Jets giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free Jet stuff, I've got an opportunity for you right now. Hang on a second. Let me do this. Wait just a second. All right. I have 6 spots left, folks, and this is first come, first serve. It is free for this giveaway. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Okay. And I just hit enter. Okay. So subscribe to that channel, that YouTube channel I just put in there. That is where we're going to be streaming our YouTube show in 57 minutes on the Harbaugh sweepstakes. If you subscribe to that channel, I just put it in the YouTube comment section so you can click it and jump over. if you're one of the first 450 subscribers to that channel, and there's 6 left because when I posted that, we had 444. If you're one of the next 6 people that subscribe, you have a chance to win this beautiful 1972 official yearbook cover from the New York Jets. That is a couple of Jets Hall of Famers on it, Joe Namath and John Riggins. We're trying to make a chase to 500 subscribers on that channel, and we're doing free giveaways. Free. We're going to randomly pick one of the first 450 people, and then we have a 475 giveaway. We're going to pick one of the first 475 people, and then we have a 500 giveaway. We're going to pick one of the first 500 people. So if you subscribe to the channel, that's free to do. You're eligible for this giveaway, and if you remain a subscriber, you continue to be eligible for all those other free giveaways. So folks, make sure you take full advantage. It's on your screen. That is youtube.com/@MCShowDigital. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. We're going to have our Jake Asman interview. For those of you that want to see Harbaugh hired, we're going to drop a Jake Asman interview. We're going to be recording that in a couple hours and dropping that on the MC Show digital channel. So, folks, make sure you hit that subscribe button, jump on over, get involved with our free giveaway. Wow, we only got four spots left. They're going quick, people. They're going quick. We've got 4 spots left, and then we'll give this away live on the show coming up in an hour. So, again, 4 subscribers away. Only 4 spots left for you guys to win this 1972 official New York Jets yearbook cover. It comes in this beautiful case, which keeps it in pristine condition. That is Joe Namath, John Riggins, a cool Jet free giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe to that link on the screen. Like I said, I see we're running out of spots quickly. I keep hitting refresh, and more subscribers are jumping on the train. So good luck to all of you out there in the universe, and make sure good luck to all of you that are jumping in on this train here. And like I said, there's a few spots left. If you rush over there, you can do it. And then we'll have a lot of other giveaways. So, folks, we'll be back on in 50 minutes and change for the Harbaugh sweepstakes and talking Super Wildcard Weekend. And we'll keep doing these free giveaways. So if anywhere in the next 50 minutes we get a few more subscribers on there, we'll give that away live on the program, folks. So make sure you jump over there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show. God bless, appreciate you, and we will see you next time here on the channel.